Okay.
You won't fall in when you know that it's ready to win.
Yo, what's up, boxing family? This is Slip Encounter Podcast. We're here at the Kenichi Bed Studios. I'm your host, BINK, and this is my man, GOLDENBOY.
How you feeling, brother?
You know, I'm always feeling good. I walked in the studio a couple minutes late, but I said I was already in my bag. I woke up in my bag this morning. How you feeling?
Still sore?
You still sore from sparring, yo?
Nah, we didn't. Nah, just lifting weights.
Oh, that's right. You been lifting weights.
Trying to get like you.
Like me, I done lost it, man. I mean, I got a little bit left in there. I got a little left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? I need to eat my Popeye spinach. That's what's been going on. I've been eating too much Popeyes, but not Popeye spinach.
Oh my god.
That number 4 go crazy.
Why your uncle sitting there doing the miss with me, right? After I'm sore as a mug, he gonna call catch body, stick.
Oh, he
catch body. I was like, oh, I felt that junk go all the way down. I had to turn away. Like, God, he was like, oh yeah, you felt that one.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what?
Yeah. Ain't no
Lord,
joke,
I'm
man.
glad I ain't have to do no circle work. Did
Right.
like 2 rounds with Manny doing circle work, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm exhausted.
Nah, for real, because like at our age, like we don't bounce back like we used to. So we really gotta take our time and can't just go full speed.
Yeah, especially with my situation.
Especially with your situation. Like my man just tore his ACL trying to do a layup.
You lying.
Wasn't even trying to do nothing crazy. Went for a layup towards ACL. Once you hit that 30-year-old mark, bro, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta dial it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford to be getting hurt. Can't afford to be getting hurt, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But, you know, we got some boxing news that we're going to talk about. Some updated things. You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of news with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. We got a little bit of news. A little bit of news with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. We're gonna call it news. We're gonna call it news because it's mainstream. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta talk about it. Even though we fed up talking about it, we gotta mention it at least. Before we introduce our special guest that's gonna come through today, but we're gonna save that for later in the show. We got a special guest, another very talented young man fighting out of what? He's 122?
Yeah.
Fighting at 122. Let me say that division is loaded in the DMV.
Yeah.
Boy, that division loaded. So everybody that we bring on here, make sure y'all go to their handles and y'all follow them. Follow their career and keep up with them because we got a lot of future world champions, contenders in this area for real.
Yeah, because a lot of these guys, especially this one that comes in later, to watch him progress, especially that last fight.
Woo.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
That was really, it's very warranted to say those good things.
Yeah. So you brought up the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, the contract. So what's new? Because you probably know more than me. You got more insight, more inside connections. What's new with the contract recently?
Shout out to Blue Buzz. I watched him too as well, but also some of the contacts that have been hitting me have told me that, you know, there's still hurdles or whatever to go through, but the major hurdles are gone, like Bob Arum or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you got the Dame Kinahan, Pro Bellum, whatever thing to deal with. But also, I'm hearing they offering Bud like $14 million for 3 fights.
Ooh.
That's, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but that's lowball, bro. Like 3 fights, that's lowball.
So what did Canelo just get for his 2 or 3 fight deal?
Let's not even go there with that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like $365 million or something like that. That's crazy.
And it's unfortunate because it's like, okay, so we're not doing it at, they're trying to do it in Vegas. They're not trying to do it in Dallas. Which is good and bad because at least you know the judging. You still got to watch the judges. You still got to, you know, really if you're Bud or Earl, be like yay or nay or nah, switch out this one or whatever with the judges and the referees and so forth and so on. But I still would have loved to seen a fight of that magnitude as a hardcore fan and knowing what these guys are about, to put them on 90, put him in front of that Cowboy Stadium. What's that? Low ball side, 94,000 people,
something like that.
And then you got to think the ring ain't but so big. Of course, the ring is big. It's gonna be. They'll probably do 20 feet on the ring, and they may elevate it.
Yeah.
But you still got. Boy, what's that? What's 20 feet side to side? What's that? About 10 yards a piece.
Something like that.
So you still got 80 yards side to side to go, and on the other side to go from sideline to sideline. You're going to fill those chairs up too.
Right.
So that might be another 10, 20,000 people. So you could be really looking at, I would love to see those guys
Fighting Dallas.
get that admiration. Side story, when Mikey Garcia fought Earl.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, there are fights that happen away from TV. Like they're non-televised fights, or sometimes there's things called swing bouts. So Earl and Mikey in the back, and Mikey, I think it was his nephew. He was sending him up there, and he was like, I said, all right, I'm gonna go. Robert Garcia's son. He was going up there watching the fights and then come back. Hey, how's it looking? Oh, they starting to foul in a little bit. It's only like 3,000 out there. All right, cool. So, he's stretching. Then as he progressed, he could go back out there, come back, check on Mike. He said, yeah, how many out there now? He said, oh, they starting to foul in some more now. It's like 30,000. Oh, cool. Come back the third time when it's time to really start buckling down and glove up, dressed and everything. How many out there now? It's got to be at least 70,000 people, bro. And Mikey said, what? So that's why you see Mikey when he walked out. Remember how the band was playing? Like he had the mariachi band like half and half, and he come down the middle. That's why you see him stop the way he did. Like go back and watch that ring walk. He stops and goes. Like it was like a freeze. Like good God, why are all these people here to see me? Like and I want to see that for Earl and Bud. I feel like it's long overdue. Bud fought in a bar one time. Wow. Quiet as is kept. People don't know. But top amateur, turn pro, all that stuff, like top amateur. He fought in a actual bar once. Like the fight was sanctioned there. The fight venue was the bar. Like for me to remember that, I want to see him get that full admiration of that. Just me personally. But to me, when it comes to the contracts or whatever, I get it. I'm sorry, Bud. I get it. Y'all got something that Earl want, but you're not at 140 no more, like the undisputed or whatever. So you might have to take 45, 55, but make it back on the. Try to make it back on the negotiations when it comes to certain merchandising, certain things like that. Just get it back that way. Right. But yeah, that's if they offer him to go to BBC for 3 fights and that's some bullshit. Like that's some bull. I mean, I remember way back when the Earl was they were worried if Earl was gonna be a big star, but Earl was really feeding them like, yo, I got Dallas. Trust me. I'm already talking with Jerry Jones. It's gonna be that people gonna show out for me or whatever. And I get it. But at one point in time, Earl and the twins, they were worried, man. I remember quiet as it's kept. They got paid. The twins got paid less after they won the belt. They got paid less.
Some of the Charlo twins, right?
That's why they started acting the way they was acting. Like, all right, because if you look back when they had the dress, they was real respectful, all that stuff. And it was like, okay, so y'all want it like this? All right, cool. Then that's how I'm gonna carry it. So I just feel like, if anything, if in my opinion, they saying it ain't a lot of money left, and from what I've been told, ain't a lot of money left for PBC to be giving out. It's coming up. Drop. I swear I could show you the messages, bro. And then Blue Bud even repeated it. Go look at the tape. I couldn't believe. I'm like, huh? With the biggest fight that sells itself? I mean,
they mean giving away money.
I don't know. That's just what I was told.
They gave away money when Rolly fought Tank. They should have saved that. But let me stop, bro. Let me stop. Keep going, bro. Y'all feel me though? Y'all feel me, bro?
But
shit.
If like for instance, let's bring up another example before we go into Tank and Ryan. I remember when B-Hop fought Roy the first time. They both got 3/4 apiece. Both got $750K. Right. Unfortunately, Bernard is very open about this. He got 88 grand at the end of that 750 grand. Unfortunate, but that's why he was so ain't take no mess, type of way. He always was very stern, but he became even more stern as time went on and he left Don King and everything. But remember that before they fought the second time, I'm talking about when when Bernard was the top middleweight and Roy had moved to light heavyweight. They were gonna do it at 68, and it was like 60-40 got to be the thing. 60-40. That's when you see the big clip when Roy said 60-40, you get your ass to her. 60-40, you get your 60-40, I kick your ass. That video.
Yeah.
He said, from what was said, like Bernard was gonna get like, I want to say 4 million. I gotta go back and look. I want to say 4 million or something like that. And Roy was getting 13.
Yeah.
Was gonna get 13 million. Roy was gonna get like 13 million. B-Hop was gonna get like 4, from what I was told. And he had to fight for that. And he said, you know what? Nah, we both top guys. Why it should be an even split? And you remember at that time what Roy was.
Roy was that dude, bro.
He was that dude.
Roy was something special, man. We all know that, bro.
I mean, I feel like it could have been a little better. Like it could have been Bernard get 10, Roy get 14, or Roy get 10 and Bernard get 7. You know, something like that. But hey, that's just how it is. But I don't care about the topic. I really don't, because like I said, I believe that fight happens when the bell rings. That's just how I am. I'm sorry. This young is, shout out to Rashid Heyman. He said the same thing. He said, unfortunately, man, ain't nothing to talk about. I believe it when it happens. When the bell ring, not when the contract signed. When the bell ring that fight's gonna happen.
Because we've seen fights fall out right before the fight supposed to happen. Like right before the ring walk. Fights and fell out.
Man, what? Pete back quiet as his cat.
Yeah.
Man.
Fights and fell out right before the ring walk. After the weigh-ins, fights
after the weigh-in
fell out. So
we done seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, been there, look right at everything coming unfolding.
Happens, man. It's a rough sport. It's a tough sport in and out of the ring.
Yeah. And now I gotta ask you, what do you think about this whole thing with Ryan and Tank? Because before I say what I really want to say, I want to, because you know, I listen. I don't mind listening. I don't mind saying I'm wrong or whatever. So I just want to get, before I say what I really want to say, I'm going to get your opinion first on this whole Ryan and Tank thing, bro.
Yeah, man. So I feel like with Ryan Garcia and the team Golden Boy, I feel like a lot of things that they do is to be in the media and to get people talking. Whether it's people talking good or bad about them, people are still talking. So, like what we doing right now with media personalities, we have a boxing talk show. We talking about Ryan and Tank. That's what they want. That's their goal, is to get people talking about them. They want to stay as relevant as they possibly can. Whether this fight materializes or not, they really did their job because we talking about it right now. You know what I'm saying? Do I really care to see Ryan Garcia fight Tank? Not really. Do I think it's a fight, a mega fight as far as purse goes and money and how they can come up off of this fight and feed their families? Yes. But a fight that's gonna live forever in boxing, like Castillo, Corrales, a fight like that we'll never forget. Do I think this fight has the potential to be that? No. I don't want to see it as far as boxing, but you know, with the purses and the money and the business side of boxing, I can see how this fight makes sense. But why the hell why is he calling out Tank, but offering fight contracts to somebody else? But you want Tank. I only want to fight Tank. I only want Tank. I'm gonna give it back to you now. Can you make that make sense?
Oh, I can make it make sense for you.
And don't hold back, neither do your thing, talk your shit, bro. That's what we here for. Slip and counter, baby.
Once again, disclaimer, this has nothing to do with my relationship with Upton Jim. Cause you know how people be, but yeah, they don't never say it to me. But they always this underlying tone of, because you don't kiss nobody ass, or because a lot of these podcasts, so-called boxing people, 90% of them never been punched in the face. 90% of them never boxed before a day in their life. And they all they followers, they only do hot takes, like the whole Fury Wilder thing. They don't really talk nothing else about boxing or know the real ins and outs of it. And then you have to agree with them. You have to agree with them. If you don't agree with them, then it's a problem, or you hating or whatever. Even if you say, yeah, I see your point right here, but I see what you're saying. Like, but this part right here is where I kind of disagree with you because of boom, 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 boom. It's still an issue.
Right.
Everything I'm about to say, I'm just gonna lay it on the table and let the chips fall. everybody has passed Ryan. Yes or no?
Yep.
Teofimo, Devin Haney, George Kambosos.
Out of nowhere,
He wasn't even supposed to be where he is. He was going to be, in my opinion. I didn't know who George Kambosos was. This other girl who follows me, LL Cool J, and she's from Australia, and she showed me his highlight that got me hooked to him. I was like, oh yeah, if they move him up right, he could be a world champ. And that was right before he started training with Manny Pacquiao. And I was like, oh yeah, that dude could be champ. But they might put him on the B side, and that's exactly what happened. And then when you do that, it could ruin a fight. Like, it could either he does good and loses, and then he just becomes a top 5 guy or whatever, like Derevyanchenko, like that.
Derevyanchenko, yeah.
So Kambosos has passed him. Tank has passed him. Teofimo has passed him. Who else? Devin Haney's passed him. The list goes on and on. And all
guys
these
coming
guys
up that's on his ass too.
These guys coming up that's about to be in his shit. Like, so now it's to a point where, have y'all noticed? Yes or no? Put it in the comments. Whatever. If y'all disagree, then just say I disagree and tell me where I'm wrong here. Because the thing y'all fail to realize is, and he knows this, I have a father named Hard Work. I'm going to deal with it when I get home anyway. Like, all right, yeah, man, nah, man, don't work like that. This is what you was wrong at, man. To make sure you keep it straight with these people, whatever. You know, so he has since, I want to say, shortly after the whole Luke Campbell fight, have y'all noticed he's taking layoffs like he's an old fighter who's defending his belts. Like, at a certain point where he's, you know how some older fighters, when they get like 32, 34, they start defending it every 6 months. Or they start defending it every 8 months. So now you had this guy disappearing, and then he always calling out the top guy's name. Then because he don't have a belt, he want to say the belts don't matter. I only want take. Why every time, and right or wrong, every time he fights somebody, who name get mentioned the most? Out of his mouth. Each press conference. But from what I've been told, he didn't want no parts of Isaac Pitbull Crew. His team did not want no part. And the sad part is, he can beat Isaac Crew. He could beat Pitbull easily. He could make Pitbull look bad. It's because he's taller and longer than Tank. So he could really make Pitbull look bad.
Or he could really, really get exposed by Pitbull too.
Getting to that part.
Yeah, my fault. Go ahead. My bad.
He could really expose him. Because he's so much taller and longer. And that whipping hook, soon as Pitbull rolls, sometimes he's square. So if he gets Pitbull looking at this and he shoots that whipping hook, and he gets leverage on, he can shoot that right uppercut all night long. You know, same punch that Tank threw and hurt his hand. It's there. So, but for some odd reason, each time, then he says, it's I'm having this mental problems, all this other stuff. And this is not from me, this is from people on the inside have told me he took the biggest thing that you can't touch out here and threw it out there so people will leave him alone. That's what was told to me.
It makes sense.
I said, nah, I'm on the phone with this guy, this insider. I'm on the phone with. I said, man, don't do that, man. You can't do that, man. Look, you can't do it. He said, you see what you just did, Junior? That's why he did it. I said, what? He said, Junior, this is example he used. He said, Junior, how long was you out there before your father, but till you got sick, that people finally found out you had sickle cell? All the list of guys you was getting ready to try to fight or get into a tournament, or you were already sparring. And because I didn't have yellow eyes and, you know, the typical thing as a person with a sickle cell, because of the regimen my father has me on, didn't see it. And he said, when you got sick, when you got put on your ass, this is the words he used, when you got put on your ass at old school and you got up and fought harder, you could have easily said, man, you know, my illness, whatever.
But you got championship pedigree. You cut from a different cloth,
I appreciate that, bro. Thanks. But
to be honest.
he said you didn't try to find a way out.
Mm-hmm.
This kid got the talent and trying to find a way out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, And then he goes, so what about when he was supposed to be in camp with Canelo, his pregnant girlfriend that's been with him from the jump, he leaves and he out with the girl that's all over TikTok. He was caught on the most, like, he made the biggest mistake. I couldn't believe he did something so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He was caught like in paparazzi central. Like this the last street. You want to get caught on one of the last streets you want to get caught on in LA. And they caught him. And they said, so why is it that every time something come up, instead of him taking the same road like Holyfield did Tyson, because you know how people compare Tank to Tyson.
Right.
What Holyfield did was, when he moved up, because he knew what he did to Tyson in the Olympic trials, not the trials, but the Olympic Plaza where they train at.
Right.
He was like, why didn't he just beat, I'm going to see if I could beat Isaac Cruz worse.
Mm-hmm.
And that will really get the talks going.
That'll make my stock rise.
Get the talk going,
Yeah.
things like that. They say he's not doing those things.
He's not much. I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead.
So now every time something happens, so now it looks like to me, now this is me talking now, and it's not the insider. It looks like to me now, he's trying to find a way out. He's like, you know what? I'm making enough money. I'm making enough money and close to my same fight purses doing the stuff I do outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I'm doing it, and I don't know if I love fighting like that no more. I'm comfortable. So you know what? Who can I fight? Devin, I don't know. That's Sale. And I can understand where you're coming from with that. Some people, I still believe it was Sale, but it goes back to the hardcore fans, casual fans thing.
Mm-hmm.
The casual fans,
they know Ryan.
They know Ryan.
That's gonna sell.
They kind of know Devin because Devin's really big on social media
right.
as
He's
well.
getting bigger, right? Mm-hmm.
But we all know when it comes to Tank, that's the top of the top of the what if sales, the casuals, the hardcores, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you wonder, like, okay, you only calling him out. So now you telling your team, I don't want nobody but him. So don't be surprised now. This is what's going to happen, y'all. I'm going to tell you exactly what's about to happen. He told his team he don't want nobody but Tank. Don't talk to me unless it's about Tank. Get me Tank. His whole team does not want this fight for him.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
It's a dangerous fight for him.
Because everybody knows he's going to F this money up. If he gets hurt or crushed because his skill sets haven't gotten better, he gets hurt in there. There's nothing else to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's what his team is thinking. When he goes out there to try to negotiate with Tank, how much money y'all want to bet? He gonna price himself out in private. It's gonna be whether it's faxing or emailing it over, or they have a real team-to-team across the table meeting. He gonna price himself out or something, and he gonna say, "Yeah, Tank is scared."
That's exact. But not to cut you off real quick.
No, I'm done. I ain't got shit else to say on this.
It's crazy. It's crazy how they saying that they can't get in touch with Tank's team and everything like that. But we just talked to an inside source this weekend that said the next fight for Tank would be Ryan Garcia. So it's like, who is telling the truth? And honestly, I'll take who we talk to and know personally. I'll take his word over anybody's. Honestly, because he a sharpshooter, and I know he ain't never lied to us before. So why would he now? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, with everything, with him offering a new contract, did he really offer a contract, or is that just clickbait to put out into the social world to get people clicking and searching and talking about this topic more? That's what I feel like it is. And when we go back to him, using that mental health card as like a get out of jail free card in Monopoly, you know what I'm saying? Everything surrounding that whole topic is just, I think it was him being young and immature, and like you said, not being man enough to face the hole he dug himself in, calling out Manny Pacquiao for the exhibition. Then no, it's not an exhibition. We really gonna fight. But nothing's up for grabs. It's not gonna count. So then what is that? So and then people start figuring that shit out. Like, oh, he full of shit. That camp capping. De La Hoya, they all full of shit. So with all that pressure on you, how do you get out of that? Get out of jail free card. Mental health. Bow. Can't talk about me. Leave me alone. I'm going through something. You know what I'm saying? So then after all of that, and now we spiraling into this, he's talking about Tank again and calling out Tank. I guess we'll see. But I see what you're saying. Like this fight from their perspective, Tank scared, Tank this. But we know Tank, bro. Tank ain't scared. He ain't ducking no smoke. He's just moving according to the path. Like Tank even said personally when he was on Gillian Wallow's show, he was saying, I don't pick fighters. I don't call out fighters. I fight who they put in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I've never went to Floyd and be like, hey, I want to fight this guy. He said, whoever they put in front of me is who I fight. When they asked him, like, why ain't you called out this guy yet? He says, that's not what I do. And be honest with you, they line him up and I just fight.
He only did it one time.
Yeah.
It was the Pedraza fight.
Pedraza.
Floyd didn't want that fight.
Right, yeah.
Because he felt like it was still some skill sets he needed to get sharper with.
Mm-hmm.
And quiet as he kept, the same way Oscar looks at Ryan, Floyd was looking at Tank the same way. Like, man, he about to F the money up.
Right.
And he told Tank, quote unquote, when it goes south, it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Tank and Count was like, all right. Because they knew he was ready and they knew he was too strong for Pedraza. And Pedraza, that was going to be Pedraza's last fight before he moved up in weight anyway. So he was killing himself to make the weight.
Right.
So on top of his skill sets in the pocket, Tank's skills inside the pocket, it was his time. It was his time. And it was crazy that he didn't even get as much money as he should have got.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all go look it up, it's public how much he got paid for that fight. Unreal.
And we can get into all that stuff. We can get in. That's a whole nother hour segment talking about that.
God.
In itself. But that's what cuts Tank from a different claw from Ryan Garcia, because he called out the tough fight. He wanted the tough fight. He got the tough fight. He fought the tough fight that he wasn't supposed to win. With Ryan, he's not gonna get these tough fights. You know what I'm saying? He calls them, but I don't think he really wants them. And if he's calling for Tank. If he does really get Tank, it could end up being a bad night for him, man. But I know you tired of talking about it. I can see it in your face. I'm tired of talking about it. We got a special guest in the building. He's from Martinsburg, West Virginia. Fights out of Hagerstown, Maryland.
Oh,
Tough
hold
guy.
on. Not
Tough
sure
guy.
if they ready yet.
He ain't ready yet. Well, we can talk about him, though. We just watched him fight. Before we bring him in, let's talk about him. What did you like from his last performance?
He looked like a better complete pro.
Like a better complete pro.
That's the biggest compliment you can get anybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now we ready.
Okay, so he ready now, guys.
Ready.
Let's get this introduction going, man. This is my guy, our guy, Chris, the Blueprint Glenn. Head slipping count about to come in. Let's bring him in.
Man. Oh, my shoulders.
Getting that Epsom salt bath, man.
Look at my guy. Hey. Good as always, man. My man had to come in looking the part, though. Look, he came in looking the part.
I said, get into your bag, man. This is your show. From now on, this is the Blueprint show.
Yes, sir.
This is your chance, you know what I'm saying? Your space to come in here and just be yourself, brother. So we glad you came through. We glad you here.
Thank y'all for having me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So coming off a phenomenal victory.
Yes, sir. Yes,
punishing victory, a complete performance, man.
Shutout
performance.
Yeah.
How do you feel after that victory?
I feel good, but there's always room for improvement. But just back in the lab.
So saying that there's more room for improvement, what are some things you think you could improve on to capitalize on your next performance?
Getting a little bit more active. You know, I have really, really good punch placement and stuff like that. But I just wanted to get him out of there so bad. But if I would just, let my hands go a little bit more, set up the shots, I probably would have got him out of there.
Yeah.
But just getting a little bit more active.
I couldn't really hear what Coach Wayne was saying. What was Coach Wayne saying in the corner between the rounds?
Cut off the ring, because I was following him a lot towards the end instead of cutting off the ring. So if I would have cut off the ring and pretty much lowered him to sleep, instead of just throwing everything hard, I probably would have got him out of there.
Yeah.
So yeah, cutting off the ring and just being more active, because he really wasn't giving me nothing to really go off of. He was fighting scared after the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty much cut off the ring and pick my punch count up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. After that first round, I think it was a body shot you hit him with in the first round.
Yeah, I hurt him early to the body,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when he really wanted no smoke. He kept moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the overhand.
The overhand.
Yeah, the
Walked
overhand.
him.
Yeah, I think the
Walked him.
overhand came in the.
That was in the last round, I think.
Yeah, the last round.
It was something that buzzed him in the first or the second where I saw him buckle
The
for a
body
second.
shot.
Yeah, it was
I
the
thought
body
it was
shot.
body shot. Then he came upstairs. I thought it was something else too.
Well,
Hit
yeah,
a few times.
Yeah. I buzzed him a couple times.
Yes, I do
I buzzed him a
remember
couple
that.
times. It was so the first one was definitely the body shot. When we had that first little exchange,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when he really started moving. Because at first, he was actually, engaging a little bit.
He was game. He was game.
Yeah, he was game. He was engaging a little bit. But after that first exchange, that's when he got on this, on this bicycle. And then it might have been like the second round. His best round probably was the second round, because that's when I kind of laid off a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hurt him to the body twice, and then hurt him with the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and he was just moving.
No, for sure. But I want to ask you, man, because we saw you in the dressing room before the fight, and you was frustrated. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say you was
tight.
worried, but you were definitely
It's tight.
a little frustrated. What was going on that had you so flustered?
It was a lot going on behind closed doors leading up to this fight. My coach, he had a lot of personal issues he was dealing with, so I really had my coach for like 2 weeks. But thank God I had Carl. And we just followed the game plan that coach left us. A lot of little other personal issues. I don't really want to get into too much that was going on. And then once we even got down to the fights, man, it was like, yo, I was telling myself, I was like, yo, God's really testing me to see if I really want this.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we got down there, my assistant coach, he actually had a false positive. So I'm thinking like, dang, you know what I mean? Like the man I was in camp with, for like 2 weeks while my coach was gone, you know what I mean? I'm about to be without him. But woke up in the morning, took another test, brought it. Everything was good to go. So, that gave me a little bit more confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But then everything was like so fast paced that fight. Like everything was just happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot, going on behind closed doors. And then on top of that, like the dude I was fighting, I kind of felt like a little disrespected in a way. Because I'm like, yo, like they know me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like, I guess I took it a little too personal. But I'm thinking like, why would, and they thought he was going to beat me pretty much. You know what I mean? So that was going on, and a lot of things going on, behind closed doors. So but once I got in there, I was good.
No, for
Can I
sure.
speak on that, please?
Go ahead.
Everybody, wait, nah. Get the camera on me. I want them to look at him. And I'm not saying to be funny. This is the type of shit I keep telling y'all that y'all don't appreciate. It's so much stuff that these fighters deal with leading up that day, and because you're a fighter, what is the thing we first taught? Even in football, no excuses, no excuses, no excuses. And then we just saw it with Lil Rock, with Jake Paul, with Lil Rock. Oh, well, he signed the contract or whatever. That's the thing y'all don't understand. The money is always the denominator. You be going through all of this stuff, but some of these fighters aren't kids. Some of these fighters are, of course, they're young, but they got families or they got something they trying to take care of or whatever. So they try to get through that just because they thinking of what happens when they get to the back to get their money and move forward and then try to progress from there. This is the part that y'all don't understand. This man just said multiple things happened throughout the whole camp leading up to the day of the fight. Every excuse you could think of to back out.
Mm-hmm.
Every excuse you could think of. Matter of fact, not back out. To fight and not all the way be there. Because that's the type of stuff that when you fight, you got so much stuff going on outside the ring. Some guys, it's not always so peaceful for them to just step in the square and do their thing. For sometimes it's, when they get in the square, it's distracting. Like some fighters who, they have a routine and they do certain things where it has to be exactly this, or they get in the ring and they're not 100% clear. For some guys, they can have a very, like Johnny Tapia, it could be very chaotic outside the ring, but when they're in the ring, no matter what, it's peaceful, they can do their thing. So y'all gotta appreciate these guys, man, because remember I said to you in the dressing room, man, you fought like a complete pro tonight. Now I really want to stand on that complete pro thing because of how you behave leading up to it. So I just want to make sure I say that and tip my hat to you, man. Well done.
I appreciate that.
Right. And then that's why we like to get the fighters on the show too, because like he just said, there's so much more behind what's going on in the ring that can derail your performance. And for you to go on and put on that kind of performance is special. So how did you lock in and perform the way you did with everything you had going on?
First and foremost, just, put my faith into God.
Mm-hmm.
And like, to be completely honest, man, like I always pray a lot, but I prayed like deeply leading up to this fight. And every big thing that I asked God for, he gave me. Like even when my coach had that false positive, I prayed that night. I was like, look, God, I was like, if anything you can give me, man, like, so let's get up in the morning and, go get this test and let it come back negative. He did it. So, the whole time, even when I was in the dressing room, I was a little tight and everything like that. But I was just thinking, I was like, look, God gave me everything, so he gonna give me this too. And then on top of that, I do got a good, support system. My family, I think, thank God for them. And, I got a lot of, good people around me that, keep me focused. But you gotta want it, And like I always say, like I'm willing to die for, I feel like I was put here for this. So I just locked in, Everybody got problems. And that's how I look at it, And some worse than others and stuff like that. So I never try to like use that as an excuse because everybody got problems.
Yeah.
So
for sure,
just locked in and just got the job done.
For sure, man. That's great, man. You definitely got that championship mentality, that warrior mentality.
Appreciate that.
And it also shows because, to be honest, and he can probably agree with me here, you're a fighter that's overlooked in this area.
Very.
You're not given the respect that you deserve.
Very.
You know what I'm saying? So for them to put a guy in there for his pro debut and put him in there with you, what did that tell you about what people thought about you by putting a guy in there like that with you?
And like I kept saying, like it was just funny to me because like, like I didn't know the kid personally or anything like that, but I knew, people around him, you know what I mean? Like the DMV is big, but it's not.
It's small.
Right,
It's small at the same time.
Yeah,
so
everybody
like,
know everybody.
So like for like, his coaches and stuff like that, like obviously they seen something and I don't get it. So like me personally, I'm thinking like, yo, like why would you do that? So I mean, it is what it is, I don't know, it's just because, the area I come from and stuff like that, why I get overlooked a lot. But, it happens. And the crazy thing is I was always, and I came in the game late. Like my peers and stuff, they've been in the DMV, I started in West Virginia, so I came in the game late, but when I was in the game, I was in the game. So I was always, either beating these guys in the amateurs or I was competing with them. So, they see the skill was there, even when it's in sparring and stuff like that, they see it's there. So why they overlook me, I mean, I don't know, but hey, they just gonna get embarrassed when they step in. As simple as that.
Yeah, I think what it is too, they seen you, they know you, but they ain't seen enough of you to be like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like he really got the goods. Yeah. So
I didn't show yet.
Right. So it's safe to say you had a chip on your shoulder, like from the jump.
Oh, absolutely.
You've never gotten the respect you deserved as a fighter from the jump.
Absolutely. Since the amateur, never got the respect I deserve. I'm always happy for my peers. I never hate on anybody like that. I'm gonna just keep doing my job, and my time will come. Everybody got their time, but I would be lying if I said I don't, walk with a chip on my shoulder, because I always got to do, like, I guess you can say, just extra sometimes, to get noticed and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I mean, but it is what it is.
Right. So if you could look back at yourself as a kid, just getting into the amateurs, and you was probably feeling a little bit frustrated or maybe a little bit. Maybe down at times because you wasn't getting the respect you deserve. What would you look back at that little kid right now and tell him it's gonna be all right?
It's gonna be all right, and just keep going. Everybody's path is different, so never really sit here and compare your path to anybody else's or anything like that. Just stick to what you know and just keep going.
Yeah, that's deep. I rock with it, man. So yeah, man. So are you able to disclose some big news yet, or you gotta hold it under wraps?
So I'm back. I believe it's Corey watch. I hope he don't get mad at me.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, but shout out to Corey, Side Nation Sports.
Side Nation Sports. I was gonna get to you at the end, Corey. But yeah, we back at it. I believe October 10th. Yeah, October 10th out in Frederick, Maryland. I'm either gonna be co-main or main. So we about to take over that area, and yeah, that chapter is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So how big is that for you? Because Frederick's kind of an in between spot between DC and where you're from in West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So how big is that for you that you get to fight closer to your hub of fan base and everything like that?
Man, it's a really really big thing because like now Corey going to see I can really sell some things out, man. Because it wasn't really hard for me to sell tickets, but I was doing good numbers selling tickets, and all my people got to travel like an hour and a half away and so forth. So now that they only got to go right down the street, I'm gonna sell that place out. It's gonna be crazy. So I really feel really really good about this chapter. For me and Corey, because it goes deeper than just boxing with him. That's a brother.
Yeah.
That's family. So I feel really good for both of us, and this thing gonna be something big.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, I'm gonna touch on your relationship with Coach Wayne. Coach Wayne probably one of the coolest old head. He's like your typical old head, man, but he's so cool. He's so down to earth. How did your relationship start with Coach Wayne, and what does he mean to you as far as your boxing career?
So when I was boxing in West Virginia, since like Hagerstown is like kind of close by and stuff like that, some of them shows Coach Wayne would be at. So I met him through one of the shows, and whenever I went through like the transition to, like I don't want to like talk bad about my old coach. That relationship was good and everything like that, but obviously you can tell like the landscape of boxing in West Virginia compared to like Maryland and getting what I needed to get is just completely different. So that separation wasn't mainly, not really getting the training and stuff. I just needed to, see something different. You know what I mean? Take me to the next level. But getting back to that, I fought a couple of Coach Wayne's fighters, and that was the closest place like to Maryland wise that I could get to. So went over there, talked to him, and I mean, ever since then, it's like family. I got a really, really good relationship with my father. But Coach Wayne's also like another, father figure in a way. You know what I mean? Definitely good guidance and stuff like that. So even past boxing, it goes past that with him. I love Coach Wayne to death.
No, for sure. That's one thing I noticed about Coach Wayne. Like, he really does love you, bro. Like, he talks highly of you. And I can tell how much he gives you in the gym. Like,
he pushed me.
He pushes you.
We bump heads sometimes. Yeah. That's good.
but low key, I see you. Like, you got Coach Wayne in you. Like, when you cutting off the ring, you do the little bicycle step. You do little things that Coach Wayne does.
Yeah. We've been working on that.
Yeah, for sure. How about with you and Carl? Like, how did that relationship come about?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think. I remember he used to bring his son. First things first, he brought his son to the gym. And ever since then, I mean, we kind of just hit it off too. With that also, it goes beyond boxing. That's also like another. I be getting mad sometimes. We be getting mad because everybody be like, "Oh, that's your son."
Oh, I really thought y'all was brothers or like something like that when I first met y'all.
Something, man. So I'm like, yo, but he's also another really, really key part to my team, and just going pro and stuff like that. He's a big factor. We a team. It's me, Coach, and Carl. You know what I mean? We're stronger together than apart. Yeah. But he brought his son to the gym pretty much. Seen I was taking boxing serious, and then he wanted to be more involved, and got him more involved. We watch tape. We go over game plan. We all on the same page, and we a team.
Yeah, for sure. So are there any other guys from the area like that's looking at you from Martinsburg and saying, "Shit, Chris did it. I want to fight too. I can do this too."
As of right now, not that I really know.
Okay.
Because Martinsburg, that's a football town. Football town. Yeah. So it's strictly just football over there and everything like that. And honestly, that's kind of why I got into boxing, because I wanted to do a little something different. I wanted to stand out and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully, that's the goal. Every time I'm out there and stuff like that, I want to inspire. So hopefully I can inspire. You know what I mean, and bring more boxing to West Virginia, So after me, when I'm dead and gone, maybe West Virginia can be a new hotspot or something like that.
For sure.
So yeah, that's the goal though.
Yeah, what I kind of see with that is how Randy Moss, where he from?
From
a small town in West Virginia. Rand's it's like Randy, but he's from Rand, West Virginia, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like
I know about the Rands.
You could have that effect where it's like West Virginia is known for being country, middle of nowhere, mountains and huts and everything like that. So with Randy Moss doing what he did with football, I can kind of see you when you reach your level, like people looking back and saying, "Yo, Chris was that. He the first to do it," and then people gravitate to it from you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the goal, man. I'm chasing immortality. After I'm dead and gone and everything like that, I want to be remembered. You know, so some understand it, some don't. But that's just what I'm chasing.
That's what's up, bro.
Statue. Have a statue up, because it's not and this is coming from me being from here, but having family around Lynchburg and West Virginia,
Right,
and
down
Chad,
in the
all that
sticks.
stuff.
Yeehaw.
Man, what the hell?
My family from there too. My family from Greensboro, North Carolina. I can't talk shit. I love the
He's
South.
saying that because he saw my house down there. He saw the land on it. He said, "Bruh, I know you can hear the crickets and all that stuff."
Oh man,
And
it's
you
different.
see when it get dark, you see the red mud on the ground. You see nothing in your face, all this stuff. But there's good fighters tough fighters that come from West Virginia, man. Like guys that they can fuck up your night if you come in there wrong.
Very rugged.
But you could see the problem with some of the West Virginia fighters is the guidance almost, cause they so tough. You just throw them in there with anybody, and because they got heart, they get in there with anybody. And I can't tell you how many times guys from West Virginia done fought up here, and it could be me and Mikey Fox like watching or whatever, or just different guys from here. We watch. Oh, that dude had somebody that really could train. That shorty could be all right. You'll say that, and I'll go up to him after the fight is over and say, man, I'll give him a pat, like, man, keep doing your thing, man. You gonna be all right, whatever. Because you can see, like, dang, if this kid was to do this or do that, he'd be all right. So for Chris to take that leap and stick with this area, not only. And I'm just throwing this out there. Not only can he wind up becoming, headlining Frederick, but also next thing you know, as he progresses and gets to the top 15 and things like that, start to get shots at the IBF Intercontinental or those belts that show that you're a prospect turn into a contender.
Right.
Those belts, like he could wind up possibly going to. Let's go back home to like how Bud did when he went back home. Like, okay, let's go back home to West Virginia. Or the fight be on the football field or whatever, or the fight be at the auditorium, things like that. And then if he fights 2-3 times, 4 times a year, 2 be at Frederick, 2 be up in West Virginia, one of those colleges or something like that. That's what kind of like how Sharpshooter did when he went back to Bowie. How it's sort of similar to that. So, and with that brings a lot of not only notoriety to him, money to him, but also money to the town. It gives back, it flips back over. And then you got the casino in West Virginia. You got casinos, all that stuff.
Right.
It's so much. It's so many things that could go into that. And I've learned just from growing up in boxing, but it's so much that could go into that. And then the local commercials and things like that start, okay, he wins the WBC US NBC. Let's say he gets the 12-0, he gets the WBC US NBC, or he gets
all them belts, man.
the Feker box. No,
right.
I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the belts that really sit. The ones that
matter.
That the USBA, those belts that signify this is a prospect turning into a contender. Those belts that as he progresses and does those things in Frederick to West Virginia. Next thing you know, it goes from state to regional, where now he becomes, what's that guy on Instagram? Top Dog Law, something like that. Like them guys, like for instance, like him or any of those different places. Like the Chicago, I was watching the Chicago Bears, the 85 Bears documentary, and they was talking about how they own Chicago, how every commercial you could think of. It was them going down, not just Chicago, but down that whole region, through Kentucky, through Illinois, all through Illinois, all the way down, like they did that. So in Ohio, so that could really be his next staple as he progresses, and then as he becomes a top 10 contender and fights for those interim to world title belts. He gonna always wind up. Yeah, he gonna always all right. This fight's in Vegas, then the next one's gonna be
right.
Things like that. So just throwing it out.
So like, what are some spots back home in West Virginia that you could have a big venue to put on a big fight?
Ah man, pro wise, that's a good question. Caught me off guard with that one. I mean, maybe at the casino, maybe.
Oh, which one is that? Charleston.
Yeah.
Charleston. Yes, that's that one there. I couldn't remember to save my life.
Maybe something like that. And then shoot, I'm pretty sure like the capital might got something real good out there. But, like I'm on like the Panhandle, West Virginia. You know what I mean? So like I don't know like too much as far as like inside West Virginia, on like certain spots and stuff like that. But I get big enough. People gonna be calling. So when the time comes, we'll handle it then.
No,
But
for sure.
can I say this?
Go ahead.
And you know how I've been keeping it straight with you since you met me or whatever.
Yes,
so
sir.
one of the attributes that you have that some other fighters don't, and it's not knocking no other fighters, it's not wrong, is because some fighters, for instance, it took a while. Like for me, you had to force me to start believing in myself to do this, talking more. Flat, all those guys in New York, and so many more pushed me to do that. But I've always been acting and everything, and everybody said I had the charisma and the smile and all that other stuff. But like BINK has said 1,000 times, he's a fighter first. Like how his daddy, he's a fighter first or whatever. And some fighters, they might just be solely focused on fighting to where it's nervousness, not to fall on their face, but also not having certain charismas or whatever to do those other things. And Chris has enough charisma, wherefore that Blue can wind up doing the commercials, the things like that, the notoriety to push, okay, you know what, I'm going to start. I could see him just on a day, I'm just going to go driving and go to these different businesses and let them know that I'm fighting, and then give them my information to be like, hey, this is my record, this is this, and I have this much of a following, and I love to do a commercial with y'all. And next thing you know, 6 months later, whatever, that person go back and like, let's call this guy.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's huge. And it's also what we're doing here right now in this moment is huge for his career too. And it's not like when I got into this, I didn't get into this to get subscribers and followers. I got into this because I love boxing, and I connected with the fighters and like what y'all go through what I went through playing football. And I wanted y'all to always get y'all shine, and y'all to always be the spotlight and the headline of every promotional that y'all promotional event that you guys are on. So this platform is your. That's why I said this is your show. This platform is for the fighters to come here, promote yourselves, hype yourselves up, and hopefully get you guys to that next level.
Yeah, it's very, very appreciated, because, we really can't do this without y'all either, though.
Yeah.
Y'all give us a platform to, promote ourselves and, do what we got to do. So, I mean, it goes hand in hand, definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, and then I want to flash back to your last fight. We talked about it on the way up here. You were talking about how the camp, like, disrespected you by putting him in there with you,
Yeah.
right? And during the fight,
Yeah.
you got into your bag, you let your hands down. You was Roy Jones a little bit,
Yeah.
with your lead hand.
Yeah.
And you was talking a little, like y'all were chirping back and forth. What was
Nah, he wasn't talking.
He wasn't talking?
No.
It looked like you was talking to the corner, though, because you looked at the corner and said something. You dropped that overhand on him.
I was talking to him at first. I was telling him to stop running.
Yeah, I heard that part.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then his corner said something. I kind of got it from Tank. You know what I mean? I got it from Tank. His corner said something. So I said something to his corner.
Man,
And
shut up.
then,
You ain't doing nothing.
he threw something. I said, "Oop, bop," it hit him, and then hit him with something else. I was just real comfortable, man. At that point, I was just real comfortable. So, yeah.
Is that something? Did you anticipate bring that kind of? Because I feel like it was a different Chris. That was a different Chris that we saw when you got into your bag like that in that conference with the Roy Jones. You was talking. Is that something you anticipated, or is it something like you was in your moment and it just clicked for you?
I was just in my moment, and it just, it just clicked with me. So,
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't, planned or anything like that. And I was just like towards the end, man. Well, the whole fight I was feeling good, but like towards the end, I was really, really feeling it. So yeah, it just happened.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be a showman. You know what I mean?
Showman. Yeah.
That's what the crowd come to see. You know. So I feel like I didn't get the knockout or anything like that, but I really, really I controlled the room.
Right.
And that's very, very important. So everything. See, people don't understand like when it comes to fighting, like everything matters as far as like not just fighting, but you can sway the judges a lot of times with just your confidence and stuff like that. Like my coach always told me, in the amateurs, after the fight, don't ever hold your head down or anything like that. Always be energetic and stuff like that, because sometimes that can sway the judges and stuff. So long story short, I just wanted to, really, really put on the show because, my fans, well, I call them supporters. I don't like calling them fans, but my supporters came to see me put on the show. So, I wanted to give them a show,
Right.
So,
right. Now I'm speaking from a boxing fan's perspective. I want to get the fighters, like y'all's perspective. Like, is that something that you guys, really prioritize? Is being like a showman? Because as a fan, when we watch boxing, we're watching it for entertainment. So do y'all go into the fights thinking, I'm gonna put on this entertainment ass performance. I'm gonna make sure make sure people leave saying, wow, that was incredible.
Well, first and foremost, you always want to get the win because the win is what matters. But you definitely always want to sit out there, to put on a really, really good performance, to keep your stock going up. Because, we get paid on, putting people in seats.
Right.
So, yeah, all in all, I want to always go out there and put on a spectacular performance because I have people coming to see me and stuff like that. But all in all, a win.
A win is most important.
But yeah.
I'm not a fighter. I'm an insurance salesman.
Man, go ahead, man. Jake from State Farm. Get up out of here, man.
Oh, man. Y'all stupid.
Oh, man. But, yeah, you think that. I mean, especially when you're in top shape, you do think that because you see stuff coming off so smoothly or whatever, everything is calm. When you got everything under control first,
That's the thing.
then you may hear, like I remember Big Gary used to tell all of us, make the casual fan who don't watch boxing, don't know much about boxing, say, I don't know much about boxing, but that guy's good.
That's how I become a superstar.
That's the look you want. And then my dad would sit there and say, stay focused on the task, but start, hitting with triple hooks. You sitting there, if you pulling that triple hook or sitting there, make the counter look even more if you pulling your hand down to go into a Philly shell, you bringing your left hand down. Do it for a reason. You doing it for it. So when you do that counter and you pull and you shoot the uppercut, boom, catch, brick hook, making it how it'll come off flawless. Pick, catch, brick, catch, uppercut, hook, brick, and everything is boom, boom, boom. And they see it's all from here, and they're throwing it back.
It's flawless. It looks pretty to guys that know boxing. Even to the casuals, like, yo, this is nice.
It's like,
how does he do that?
Then spinning around them, pivoting back around them again or whatever. Or for instance, what Blue did. Firstly, I want to say, from a pure boxing perspective, I'm glad that you ain't lazy enough to bend your knees.
I talked about that in the call with you.
Some fighters, man, quiet as is kept. Some fighters is lazy as hell to bend their knees.
Yeah.
And they be bending at the waist too much or whatever, instead of keeping their eyes up when they dipping, keeping your eyes up on what's coming. Because you might dip and then that guy shoots a shovel hook or shoots a zip and you run right into it.
Right into it.
And because you didn't have time for your eyes to look up and register what's coming, your brain can't register, your eyes can't register to the brain, and the brain register to your body, pain coming, right? Brace yourself. Or react to move or whatever, reflexes to react to move. And next thing you know, you hurt. You like, the hell am I hurt for? Because you didn't see the shot coming. The shot you don't see coming is the one that hurts you the worst.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So when you went in and you started pulling in, 6-inch stepping in, moving your legs, little bit, bending, sliding. Oh, you heard me?
Yeah. I started talking to you a little bit too. I started talking to you a little bit too.
Everybody heard him, bro. He in my ear. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to record the fight, bro.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No.
He was like, good move, Blue. He's like, that's what I'm talking about.
I remember one time you acknowledged me. I said, man, what you wait? Give him some feints, man. See if he biting on something. And you turned this way and said, I got you.
Yes,
and then
sir.
pop, fainted more. Oh, man, that was pretty.
Complete control.
And I would sit there and be like, man, stop following this man. Stop around this fool, man. Cut off the ring. Cut his real estate off.
And then he started bicycling like Coach Wayne, doing the Coach Wayne shuffle.
Oh, my goodness. I honestly didn't think because sometimes when you fight, you only hear your coach. Like, it could be as loud as it could be in there.
It's so weird, though. Like, that fight, like, I heard everything. I felt good. Like, I don't know, man. I was just on one, man. I appreciate it, man. I was just on one.
It showed in your performance. Good. Like, it was a flawless performance.
Yes.
Like, and you were so comfortable, which is even more impressive knowing the backstory behind leading to the fight.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you got so comfortable, man.
But take that momentum and how good a shape you was in, seeing everything coming, and keep staying in that shape and boost that shape, because then it's gonna get even more slow. Things gonna really start coming in slow motion. Then the rounds gonna go past even faster.
Right.
There's certain stuff you see coming, you could choose which way you want to move away from it because you see everything so smoothly. So keep progressing off of being how in shape you are. And also, I don't know, sometimes I guess it's fighters and friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that you heard everything and it was like, I got you, Junior. I got you. Do whatever, man. That made me feel good, man. I appreciate it.
That's a good question though. Cause you did say you struggle making weight and cutting weight for your first fight.
Yeah.
So what did you change between now and then to make sure you own weight, you're not dry, and you can perform?
Just being more disciplined. You know, yeah. I mean that's just what it was.
That's
just
all
being
it
more
was.
disciplined. You know, I can't put that on anybody but myself. My first fight, you know, got the job done still. But yeah, that's like one of the best things you can do as a fighter, man. Just being disciplined. You know, it's just one less thing you got to worry about. You don't want to have to be in camp the whole time, worry about cutting weight. You know, when you want to be worrying about game planning, strategizing, and stuff like that. So just dieting, and you know, I mean this. I mean, it's always been my life, but it's more of a job now. You know, so I'm getting paid for it. So I gotta just take it to the next level. So taking it a little bit more serious.
No, for sure. Speaking about that next level, what are some of your short-term career goals? You know what I'm saying? Like, what belt do you want to get first? Like, what are some things you want to accomplish to get you to that next world championship level?
I mean, for like I guess this next year coming up, you know, just getting a regional belt, I guess would be, or a state belt, or however that works.
Be careful with that.
Be careful with it.
Cause not to cut you over,
No,
I'm telling you because different friends that I've been close to.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was with Al Heyman. And because if I could just say this, it was Jared and my uncle Nesto when he was fighting and my dad were fighting. One, it wasn't that many belts, but the main belt you wanted to show that you were a contender on the way to being world titles was the USBA or NABA belts or whatever. And I think Nesto had said something and Al, and we were talking about it, and I said it in the gym, and Nesto and Jared said, yeah, Nesto was saying the same thing. And that's when Al told us, why get those belts to pay the sanctioning fees?
That's true too.
Why do that? And you got to pay this 3% or 1% extra out of your purse on top of the, you know, everything else that you're taking care of. You could just go ahead and just keep on doing what you're doing until you get to a world title. But if it makes sense, get that belt, because then like the interim belt or the intercontinental belt, if whoever got that sanctioning body's intercontinental belt or that sanctioning body's interim belt, you basically you basically go from this far away to now this far away, dangling, hi, I'm your neighbor now. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Like right, type of thing.
That's what I was asking, like what belt's gonna get you closer to you know, your goal?
I got a good team behind me and stuff like that. You know, like I said with Corey and stuff. So I try to mainly, you know, focus on the fighting, you know, staying in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And then you know, game plan with Corey, you know, I know he got my best interest. So he's gonna look out for me. And he has a game plan on in a time frame on when he wants me to do this and do that. And I'm gonna just follow it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you fighting at 122 right now?
Yeah, 122.
Yeah. So as you progress, is 122 the division you want to stay, or do you want to look at 126, maybe 130? Is that more comfortable for you to make like those weights?
22. Probably 22. Yeah, but I'm gonna try something, man. Like after like this next fight, I guess, depending on what my next one is, I'm gonna see how low I can get. If I can get to like 18 comfortable, why not? Why not?
No, I feel you.
You know what just I mean? Make sure you're not weak.
Yeah, that too. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna test it out when I got like I'm not in training camp. I don't got a fight lined up like down the road or anything like that. Just to test it out, because like I'll be honest, man. Like this camp that I was just in, yo, like I didn't have to cut weight. I was just eating good, and honestly, like the weight was coming off so fast. It was coming off so fast. So I'm like, yo, what the heck? Like honestly, I thought I was sick for a second, but I'm good. You know what I mean? So, but if it can keep coming off like that, I mean, shoot, why not? As long as I'm strong and everything's good, hey, let's get it.
No, for sure. With Coach Wayne's, you know, background in boxing, you know, he's done a lot in sport of boxing. Is there like a route that he wants? Is there like advice he's giving you to get to that level, world championship level?
Just, you know, this what I'm doing right now. You know, just staying on this path. You know, because right now, you know, if you got a good team behind you, you know, like we obviously we're in the building phase right now. You know, trying to build my fan base up and stuff like that. And then once you crack like that 10-0 or something like that, that's when you know you really trying to. Like all them fights really mean something. Like I mean, every fight means something. Yeah. But it's just like it's like any other business. You know, you building. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, we all sit down. We all got a good relationship. You know, me, Coach Carl. You know, Corey, and we all just on the same page and you know just chasing this dream. Yeah.
So speaking of business, man, I see you a realtor almost, right? Is realtor you into real estate?
I'm into real estate. I'm not a realtor.
Right, you're into real estate. So how are you balancing, you know, doing that and doing well at that and boxing at the same time?
Well, I mean, that's easy because that's just on my own time, you know? Okay. So when I got a fight coming up, I just lock straight in on that. And then, you know, whenever I don't really got a fight like right now, you know, I just, you know, I'm still training and stuff, but let my body heal and then, you know, focusing on the real estate.
Yeah. So what is it that you do with the real estate exactly? I still don't really understand.
So I do I do real estate wholesaling. So pretty much we sell contracts. And then hopefully, you know, since we getting some more funds in and stuff like that, we're gonna start doing some fix and flipping. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's the name of your business? We can have everybody in the chat go follow and yes,
subscribe and like everything.
Yes, sir. My real estate business is Blueprint Real Estate LLC.
Okay, good. Make sure you guys in the chat follow him at the Blueprint. And
young fighters, y'all heard what he said?
Yeah.
You heard what he said? Say it one more time for them young fighters, man. Younger than you, the amateurs is thinking about turning pro.
About having other
No. Say that whole title again in your real estate. Blueprint what?
Blueprint Real Estate LLC.
There it is. LLC. Go look at what Danny Garcia started doing shortly after he turned pro. And one of the checks he posted after doing exactly everything he just said with the houses and flipping and all these other things. One of his checks was $375,000 that he posted one time. Didn't even have to touch his boxing money. Didn't even have to touch it. On top of the barbershop he owned, on top of the gym he owned, on top of these are all things that what you say you're not slipping these punches for nothing. You're not putting on 8 ounces and then the shot you get hit with that you block, you still feel it come through the glove like, good God. And they not doing that for no reason. And the biggest mistake is some of the fighters I grew up around, they'll tell me, well, you know, I ain't grow up like that and I can't take it with me. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You can't take it with you. You want to enjoy yourself. But I never get what my father said. He said, getting money, it leaves your pocket like a rabbit real fast. But it comes to your pocket like a slow turtle. It comes at you it comes so slow sometimes. And you got to also look at it like this. Listen to what Blue just said, what he's doing. Now, let's imagine, God forbid, his next fight come up, and because of how he's beating on guys, it's harder to get them opponents. You don't get paid unless you fight sometimes. Some guys you might, you know, have a contract negotiate where you might get a stipend every month or whatever. It depends on how you negotiate whatever in your resume or whatever. But anything can happen. Guy, they having trouble finding opponents, or you might have situations where you might hurt your hand, or the other guy that was supposed to fight you hurts his hand, or whatever the case may be. And now you taking that time waiting to go get another fight. And the biggest trap that I have seen is that happens, and those fighters don't have nothing else. And they go to that promoter that isn't that tight with you like Corey is with Chris or whatever. And they say, hey, all right, well, can I get the next fight you saying is going to be 10 grand, right? Yeah. Well, so can I get 2 or 3 of that 10 grand now? They take that 3 grand, go handle whatever they got to handle. The next fight come up, you still got to pay everybody like it's 10 grand. It ain't like, oh, well, I got 7 grand now, so I only got to pay $700. No, you still got to pay back the 3 grand, and you still got to pay 10% to everybody else in the corner. You know, so once again, proud to I tip my hat to you, man, for something else for doing that, man.
Appreciate
Good for
it.
you.
Appreciate it.
For sure, you well rounded, man. Your financial literacy is on point. You know what I'm saying? Everything's good. So do you have like a documentary or like a TV show coming out, or what's going on?
Yeah, I got it's a series, you know, that just follows me every fight. Shout out to iRose Films, you know, my boy really be looking out for me. It's called True Blue.
True
That's what
Blue.
it's called. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I seen the couple of the part 1 and part 2 so far, right?
Yes, sir. Part 3 coming soon.
Okay, for sure.
Make sure you send me some of it so I can promote it on my page. Cause
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
who else did that?
Who else?
Jared.
Yeah.
Did
Oh yeah,
that.
Jared did do that. Yo.
Yeah, him and Chris was doing that.
Well, I mean,
a lot, so.
fighters, they gotta start doing that, man. Like, yeah, these promoters gonna promote you somewhat, but you gotta take that jump. You gotta roll with it too. You know, like, I mean, say what you want to say about like Ryan Garcia and stuff like that, you know, but he promote himself. You know what I mean? You know, even Jake Paul and stuff like that. Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
So it's like, if you want to get this bag, you gotta do things too. You know what I mean? You can't just depend solely on like a promoter or outside sources and stuff like that. You know, you really gotta go do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Wanna just
See
being a
how
fighter.
he just said that. I appreciate and I agree with what you said too. What you said with Ryan. Only part I disagree with. Well, let me say what I do agree with. Everything you said, and to your point, is look at how much he's accumulated outside the ring on that matches his fight purses damn near.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful as well. You know, that's the point I'm making to y'all, that you do those things, but he's disagreeing with me, but not sitting there acting like he gotta be right. Y'all caught that?
Everybody can't do that,
Y'all
man.
caught that, right?
Everybody can't do that.
But you know what? I'm wrong, because this guy knows what it feels like. This guy knows what it feels like. And this guy knows what it feels like. What 3 minutes feels like. So maybe that's why he's able to agree and disagree with me without feeling some type of superiority complex, folks.
No, for sure. For sure. Fighters, y'all definitely got like a short, like, term memory as far as like relationships and like disagreements, because y'all fight each other. And I was asking Sugar Wayne, like, how do you and Blue get in there and y'all spar hard ass sparring, and after the sparring y'all dap it up and y'all mad cool?
Yeah, it's just a mutual respect. You know what I mean? Like we all warriors and stuff. So like, I know what he go through. In camps and stuff like that, and just being a fighter regardless. And he understands what I go through and stuff. As long as we not fighting. I mean, we not beefing. I understand it's respect.
And remember what I said also on air a couple days. I said, and this comes from my experience with being able to helping Jerry get ready for fights, helping so many top guys, amateur fighters get ready for tournaments. I'm trying to help you get to the money. Why do I want to beat the sense out of you before you make it to the money? And we supposed to be like trying to help each other. Like, for instance, and this is coming from a guy who worked with Blaze, worked with Pat, worked with Too Slick, worked with Jared. There's so many guys, and these guys got fights coming up. And then Alantez Fox show up, Damon Nicholson shows up, Troy Ozzie shows up, and they working with Jared, or they moving around working with each other. All these guys fighting for 5 or 6 figures at the time, before they started fighting for 7 figures. And it's like I'm not babysitting you, but I ain't trying to kill you. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not trying to babysit you. Like, all right, just touch light, but I'm not. Trying to kill you. I'm trying to help you get to the money, bruh.
Got to.
Anything can happen in there. All of a sudden, I accidentally thumb him. We going too hard now. I thumb him and I detach his retina. I tear his anything.
Yeah.
Some of the worst things be happening in sparring. People be thinking like fights and stuff. Like, nah, like, shoot. A lot of people be getting like brain damage and stuff. Like the hard sparring sessions, you know? So,
nah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The part people don't know, the part that people don't see, like, man, I done seen a lot of careers get ended in the gym. I done seen a lot of careers with guys, they in there, and next thing you know, they get into fight night and they stale. Because they left it all in the gym. Too many hard sparring days, not enough circle work days.
Yup.
And I mean, it's that shit is real. I mean, I done seen it since a little boy. Yeah. And back then it was worse, because back then it wasn't no such thing as circle work or light sparring. It was, you got in there, you went hard. But you got on the head, you got 18 ounces on, so they just, I mean, it was some of the best fights I ever seen. was at Old Hillcrest. I swear to God, bro.
Better than the fights on Showtime and stuff, right?
Swear, bro. I mean, man, I could tell you some story. Matter of fact, I could tell you a recent story from about less than 10 years ago. Julian Hammerhands Rodriguez. I told you this story. Sugar Wayne was there. Sugar Wayne sparred that night too. Julian Hammerhands Rodriguez and his team, his father, they still amateurs. They probably was 14 at the time. They come up here, and the weigh-ins was the next morning. Him and Tonio went at it. And me and my father was looking like, this is good work, but then it went past good work. It went like it's a tiny line. Yeah. It's a thin line. Yeah, like, oh man, this is good work. Oh, this is good work. All right. Then all of a sudden we go into round 6, round 7, round 8. I'm like, okay, this is starting to go a little bit past the line of good work.
Y'all probably like, y'all good? Like, chill. Nah. We still trying to go.
Man,
that's what I'm saying. How do y'all turn that switch off, man? Because I know when I was playing ball, it's like, if you get the best of me, I'm getting the best of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I gotta get my get back. So how do y'all like turn that switch and be like, no, it's time to chill?
You know, it's just a competitive nature. And like, it's like, if we know we got a fight coming up, like, we not in camp or something like that, okay, yeah, we going. But if we know we got to fight, like, next week, we not about to sit there and try to, like, kill each other and get cuts and stuff like that. Like, we going to work, but we not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Who was that? Roy Jones was saying something about, like, fighters having friends in the game. Like, fighter. What's that? Roy Jones or that Bernard?
Yeah.
It's Roy? It's both of them saying?
Yeah, they was on a bus talking about that.
Yeah, so, like, when he was saying, like, no friends in boxing, like, y'all gotta fight each other and stuff. Like, how do you feel about that? Because a lot of your friends are in the same division as you. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all get to that level, like, how do y'all break that down? Like what's the conversation that you would have with somebody if you had to, knock them up?
I mean, all right, so, like, Wayne and, like, Two Shot, it got to be, like, life-changing type money for me to fight them. I'm not going to say, like, I wouldn't fight them, but it got to be, like, life-changing money. So I go to them straight up and be like, look, I'll be like, yo, Wayne, look. Y'all know you my boy and all that.
Look at this, man. They offering us $4 million a piece,
they offer us $4 million a piece. So we be cool after this, yo. We don't got to fight ever again after this.
Right.
But other than them, because those are my brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I still fight them, for, like I said, life-changing money. But other than them, I mean, anybody else, I don't really got no beef with them or anything like that. But, I mean, they can get it.
Yeah.
They can get it.
No, for sure.
Also, though, to the first part, you asking the wrong person when it comes to what's the line? Because sometimes it be the coaches.
Yeah.
Because
that too.
And it be the worst ones when the coaches that ain't never fought before, that be living through their son or whatever, or their daughter, pushing them, and they ain't getting hit.
Right.
I done said this 1,000 times to people. I don't really care who I offend, but the fathers, me and Lil Rock was talking. I think that interview's still up, where it was Digital Williams, Lil Rock, and me. And cause Digital kept getting us mixed up because he kept on saying Junior and Junior, and I'm Golden Boy, he's Gold Blooded. He kept mixing it up. So we was talking, and he was like, did your dads, both of you guys come from dads with Graydon, with Junior, your father retired very early, and Lil Rock, your father kept going further, but you both come from guys with fathers with big pedigree. Did they want you? Did you, and you guys were prodigies. Did they want you to fight me and Rock in unison without even looking at it? No. And they was like, why? I said, because your father think about they did all that running in the cold and running in the heat, doing that. They don't want you to have to do that. Of course, they may take you to the gym. They love that you're a prodigy, but they don't want you doing this shit. They thinking about the shots they took or didn't take. They don't want that for you. So then as you keep going, that's why they keep telling you no, to see if you really, really want to do this. And then you go, but the ones who be pushing, 9 times out of 10, the ones who be forcing their kids to box and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10 be the fathers who ain't never boxed before, or they fathers with some trash.
Oh shit.
That's very big facts.
Am I lying?
No,
Thank you.
Lying. That's big
Thank
facts.
you. It's usually the fathers that never boxed before, or they fathers did box and they was some straight trash. Straight like that.
It's like that in football too. You should see the guys out there with their sons, and it's like, yo, I
Son.
played with you, boy. I played with you.
That's what I'm saying. Living through their sons, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I never really had to deal with that. My dad always just like, if you want to do it, do it. But he kind of just stay out the way.
Did he ever box?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He used to box in Philly when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
then,
God.
yeah, out in Philly. And then that's when my grandmother wanted to take them out the inner city. So that's how we got to West Virginia. That's when he met my mom. And then he went into the service. He went into the Navy, and that was around that time when it was the armed forces, boxing teams and stuff like that. So then he boxed in the Navy for a little bit. So, but yeah.
So that's something that you knew about him before you started boxing, or did he kind of put that on? Like, I used to fight back in the day too, young blood, and
I mean, I used to always just hear stories and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
it's always never from the father.
Yeah,
never
from the father.
Like, nah, man. I mean, I boxed for it, but I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Man. I wasn't that guy. You saw me just deal with that after that video from this weekend. Oh man, I boxed. Yeah. Now, if you in private with your father, they'll be like, and it won't never be like them bragging. It'll always be like, man, you know who else was nice? This guy, man. He was such and such and such. They always like, oh man, that was a heck of a tournament we was in, man. Such and such. And it's never really them up playing they stuff. They talking about their friends and I fought on that card and I won that or whatever. Yeah,
it's typically the people that are normally like the loudest in the room and always talking. You can really tell like they really wasn't like that. But then once you get around like people that are like real humble and quiet and everybody else speaks for them, that's how you know typically like that's that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So man, like looking at your career right now, with you 3-0, right?
Yeah, 3-0.
3-0. Who are some guys that you want? Who are some guys that you want to fight?
Yeah, you look forward to as you go towards the top 15 and things like that.
I mean, I ain't trying to take like the easy way out, but just anybody that gets me closer to a world title. I really ain't here to really call anybody out or anything like that. Anybody that gets me closer to that world title, I'll take.
Why do you feel like that's the easy way out? That ain't no easy way out. Anybody who think that statement is the easy way out?
A lot of people want you to get on here and be like, oh, nah, I want you to call out this guy, that guy. Nah, is anybody in the way? And honestly, I keep it real with you. Like, I just let my team handle that. I really don't say really no to no fight. You can even ask Corey. He sent me, certain dudes and stuff like that. I don't say no to it or anything like that. So, anybody that put in front of me, I let my team handle it. And I'm just like a hitman. I just go get it. So, line them up.
Oh, I want to go back to what you said about the friends fighting. I remember there was a guy back in the day called Gerald McClellan and another guy called the Body Snatcher.
You a boxing historian.
Oh
really
my
is,
God,
bro.
here we go.
Real big with it.
For real.
So
you know everything about boxing, bro. Like for real. Head to toe.
It's good though.
So back then the middleweights you had Gerald McClellan, Julian Jackson, you had the Body Snatcher, you had Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn, so many top guys. And those fighters, a lot of them all fought each other, but some of them wasn't friends. And I remember what Tyson said in his the interview. He said, well, if y'all friends, let's help each other make some money. Or whatever. Let's help each other make some money, man. And Marvin Hagler had said they were at this, I think it was the Nevada Hall of Fame, and Body Snatcher walked up to him and said, hey man, why you never fight me? And he said, why? Nah, man, the reason why I never, Mike McCollum, the Body Snatcher, Mike McCollum. I couldn't, because I get McClellan and McCollum confused. So he went up to Marvin and he wanted to fight Marvin. He wanted to fight a lot of guys. When he was in camp with the Kronk Gym, when he came from Jamaica, and him and Tommy, you can look at the old footage of him and Tommy sparring. All those great sparring sessions. And then he said he left Kronk Gym because he felt Emmanuel Stewart undercut him because he was gonna fight Duran, but Manuel was, when you signed with Kronk Gym, he was your manager and promoter. Okay. So he went behind and got Tommy the fight when he knocked out Duran, instead of it being McCollum. So he was mad. Like he said, well, now that I'm leaving the gym, I want to be able to fight Tommy. He took out a wallet-sized picture. Yeah. And gave it to McCollum and said, here you go. That's the closest you gonna get to him. And years later, he wanted to fight Hagler and things like that. And they were at whatever function, I want to say Nevada Hall of Fame, whatever. And he said, Marvin, he said, why do you never fight me? He said, man, it's good to see you, old friend, or whatever. And Mike McCollum said, Marvin, you calling me an old friend, but I'm from Jamaica, and in Jamaica, how we do, we You bringing someone to your house, you show them hospitality, you do those things, and you didn't give me hospitality. If I'm your friend, I say, why come you and help me make some money? We could afford each other, help each other make some money. We were both the top guys. So it's really a line between who you talking to almost. Because sometimes it might be, man, I can't fight him or whatever, but we could spar each other. You know, so many guys
like a Shakur and like Keyshawn, they never gonna fight.
They will never.
They not gonna fight.
You will never see it. Sorry, folks, it ain't happening.
Y'all better get some sparring.
Y'all better try to find some sparring footage after they retire. That's as far as you gonna get with that.
That'd be crazy though.
That'd be a good fight.
Crazy man. Crazy.
Oh,
let me ask you that though. So, what are some of the matchups you want to see in the game right now?
Preach.
Of course, we want to see that Spence, Crawford. I would love to see Shakur Lomachenko.
Yes.
Oh my God, I would love to see that. I want to see Tank. I want to see Tank and Ryan. I want to see Tank and Haney.
Oh Lord, no! He done messed me up.
Yeah, you don't like it. Yeah.
Why did you do this?
Honestly, I just want to see. I want to see Tank with any of those top guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, for sure. He don't like Tank and Ryan because he don't like Ryan. He don't like all the controversy and the celebrity, around Ryan Garcia. But in your defense though, that is an entertaining fight because regardless of everything that surrounds Ryan and all the garbage that hardcore fans don't like, the Joker can still fight. The Joker still got an X factor with him and can make a fight entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, anybody danger 8-ounce gloves.
Right.
And I really ain't understand that until I went pro and start feeling them Jones shows. It's just different. Like, look, man. Paulie got knockouts.
Yeah.
And Paulie can't crack an egg.
No.
He can't crack an egg.
No. Let me contest to that. I seen him fighting the amateurs. He had one of the purest technique right hands you ever want to see. Just the way he throw it because he's so parallel, he get the full torque out of it.
Yeah.
He was putting guys out. It's a difference. I swear to God, it's a difference. He was putting dudes.
Paul was doing that in the amateurs?
Slim. I seen him put a dude out before he hit the floor.
Hey, yo.
Then, if you go look at his pro debut,
yeah,
like a lot of his, you know how they say it's not that you fighting tomato cans, how you put him out.
Yeah, how you put him out.
His early career, before he started, he was putting dudes out cold, like before they hit the ground. But the thing was, he was tearing his hands apart.
Yeah.
He was breaking them apart, bro. He had broke his hands so much. And then he had another surgery where they had put a pin in it. And then he was sparring, getting ready to fight on, because at the time he was fighting on Showbox nonstop.
Yeah.
He threw a right hand, and when it broke, like if the bone is right here and the pin is right here under it, it broke, and then the pin went up and hit the bone. So every time he touched, that pin was hitting that bone that broke nonstop.
I wouldn't throw bricks neither.
Well, I guess it makes sense then why he, stopped on with power and stuff like that. Then.
I wouldn't throw bricks neither.
People were still telling me because of his technique of how he threw the right hand, you still kind of had to respect him a bit.
Absolutely.
So he was one. Then if you look at his hand now, it's not like you see lines all over his hand, and he has an artificial bone. The reason why he stopped breaking his hand, he finally had to. They sent him to a specialist, and he has a artificial bone in his hand now, and how everything healed up. So that way he stopped his last. He had when he won the title again, he stopped that dude on cuts and barrage punch because of how he turned all his punches over, how he threw it. Yeah, he stopped.
I mean, that's the main thing, man. Like, you really don't gotta be a hard puncher.
Yeah,
his technique, just knowing like punch placement,
timing. And
I feel like people don't give Tank a lot of credit. They just think he just got brute strength and stuff like that. But like, his punch placement is awesome.
Yes,
like, you gotta know where to punch people. How to set up shots, and it's a lot that goes into it.
You telling stuff that people that don't fight don't understand.
Yeah.
See, they thinking Tank he just strong or whatever. People forget what's Tank amateur at, like 212 and like 16 or something like that.
Boy can box.
He won a lot of his amateur tournaments boxing.
That's what I'm saying. It's no way you winning national titles and stuff like that and can't box. That's all the amateurs is boxing. So
point system, trying to get. And remember when at that time when we were all in the amateurs, you had the white knuckle part where it had to land a certain way or they wasn't counted. And if you fought too much like a pro, they would rob you on purpose. Y'all don't get that part. Like, it's a lot that y'all don't understand. So,
Yeah.
but
That's why we're here doing the show. This is for the casual fan that don't know boxing. We got you on here, a boxing historian that knows boxing in and
Yes,
out.
sir.
No, we ain't trying to be funny, dead ass. Like, he
it's
knows.
just typical
real talk.
stuff.
Yeah, the Joker can break it down from like the
real
glove
talk.
to the horse heads to the
All
foams to the mixes
Yeah.
to the contracts, everything. And then we get the
Yup.
fighters on here to tell their story
Yup.
and where they come from, how they came up. You know what I'm saying? So it gives the casuals and the people that don't know boxing an inside view on what these guys really went through and go through
Beautiful thing.
to make the in the ring beautiful, to make the lights when they shine, to make what they're doing beautiful to y'all.
Yeah,
so it's
but,
bigger than that.
But the casuals piss me off.
I know that's because y'all are fighters. Y'all is fighters.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a different,
They be
y'all from a different
They
lens.
be tripping.
Like,
I just
from a
learned not to
different lens.
argue with them. That's why I learned.
Yeah, like, I don't
pay
him no mind.
It can't make sense. Really.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't win. It's just like, just keep it moving. But the thing that Blue said, and you heard, and you heard me.
Blue. I think you like blue blood. People
Nah.
call me-
Oh,
I be
I'll
getting
just
mixed.
say Prince. All right,
Yeah.
the thing that Prince said when he was like, that sounds like Prince. I forgot.
Yo, call me
But-
Blue, yo.
But so Blue, remember what Blue just said about he wanted to see Shakur and Lomachenko.
Yeah, hell of a fight, man.
For guys like us in this room, we thinking, man, the chess match.
Chess.
Beautiful
Oh,
boxing
gosh.
match.
Oh man, how's that gonna go? How you gonna get? Cause you know how Shakur master
Yo,
of
my God.
distance
Yo,
control.
Yeah.
His distance control is crazy.
Oh my
It
goodness,
is crazy,
Bruh.
man.
And you, so we thinking that, and man, is Lomachenko gonna be able to step around? He's
yep.
gonna be doing it. But the casual fan, and I said this
Ain't gonna
about
be a
Boo
knockout.
Boo and all that other stuff. Like,
Mhm.
man, that junk gonna be boring.
He ain't knock him out.
That's why you heard me say a couple weeks back, man, they will have to push Shakur in with either Tank
Yeah.
or Ryan to really for it to sell. Cause I'll
Yeah,
tell you
I
what
see
a
what you-
promoter
yeah.
said. I'll tell you what a promoter said. Big time promoter. We were talking one day, and he said, Junior, we don't worry about people like you. We don't worry about people like you and your father. Y'all gonna watch a fight regardless. You gonna see it don't matter who in there. You gonna watch and see what to do, what not to do, what can I take from and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We trying to get the casuals, the people who can we get this guy who don't hardcore watch boxing, but on a Saturday night, nothing's going on. He's gonna watch it and take his wife to the fight and buy those $2,000
Exactly.
seats, ringside seats.
Exactly. That's why, to his point, when he was mentioning Ryan Garcia and Tank, that fight, what you just said, it makes all that make sense.
Because they got like both the casuals, like
Right.
like I mean Tank got hardcore fans too.
Yeah,
But Tank got
yeah.
a lot of casuals because he knocked people out, and that's
Yeah.
what casuals want to see. They like
Yeah.
seeing that. And then Ryan Garcia, he got
World
his fan
Star,
base,
my
and-
mixtapes,
you know what I'm
they
saying?
show it. They show it.
So I see exactly like Floyd's a marketing genius. So I see exactly what Floyd did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So honestly, I mean, it sucks, and it might water down the game a little bit. But if you want to build a star, yo, you got to appeal to the casuals. You got to.
Mhm.
Also, to your point, I was saying this. I'm gonna get your opinion. You know who Ryan is now? Watered down, but you know who he is now to this generation?
Who?
Oscar. Remember when we was kids when Oscar would no, take away the skill set. Forget about the skill set. I'm not talking about the skill set. We already know Oscar was that dude. And it's crazy now that he retired, he's getting the roses he deserved. Because remember back then, people was like, man, he ain't trying, he
Pretty
ducking
boy.
people, he wasn't trying to fight. But you look at his resume now,
Oscar, that dude.
slim, he was out there
Oscar
getting
dog.
it in.
Oscar dog.
Mhm.
Oscar dog.
He was getting it in. But remember when we was kids, Oscar had every girl showing up to the
Yeah.
fight. The brothers wanting to fight him.
Yeah, but see that's the thing too, man. You get the woman on your side too.
Yeah.
like, bro, you gonna sell?
And
Facts.
I see it like that. I see what you're saying.
yeah, so now
That's a fact.
he has so many of the, I won't say Jake Paul enthusiasts, because you know what's
Yeah.
crazy. They're cool. Him and Jake Paul, real cool. They done
Yeah.
did skits and stuff
Yeah.
together, live down the street from each other.
Yeah.
So a lot of those fans transferable.
Mhm.
And then you got all of these extra women fans showing. Like,
Yeah.
remember when he fought Jason Velez on ESPN?
Was it? Yeah.
Man, that Bama walked out the entranceway. All you heard
Straight girl.
was straight female.
I thought you was at a
high-pitched
Justin
voices.
Bieber concert,
Slim.
Joker.
He
did. He did that joint on Valentine's Day, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
No,
around
that
Yeah.
was the other one.
Was
That
the
was the
Heartbreaker.
other
No,
one.
that was
when he
Brandon
wore
Figueroa.
that was not Figueroa, but
They call him the Heartbreak. He fought on Valentine's Day too one
yeah,
time.
he did too. But
Yeah.
what's that boy name? The one that he knocked, he wore all red. I know what fight you talking about. Day before on Valentine's Day, he had all red on. He knocked out the dude with the hook in the first round.
Yeah.
That's the same dude who fought Tank. I know who you talking about.
What was it?
Um,
what was his name?
God,
Duno? Was it Duno?
Nah,
No,
I think his name's like with an
no.
F or something like that. Is it?
Fonseca.
Fonseca.
Yeah.
That's
punished
his
him,
daggone
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
And so you got that fight, but you can hear nothing but high pitch. You know, so you already know you got that on top of it. So when it comes to those type of fights, it's like, man, we could maybe move this fight away from the Barclays or away from Vegas and put it in a stadium because of how many people gonna show up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people there, man. So
Right.
I mean,
Let me ask you on your opinion on this fight, 'cause I know you stopped betting me and debating on me about fights,
I had
picking
to stop
fights.
because you was on one.
I was on one for a
Stop.
minute.
Yeah, you was on one for a minute.
What you think about the Usyk Joshua rematch?
Oh my God. Aren't you glad we little guys, bro?
Absolutely. I would hate to
Jesus
take some punches
Christ.
like that. I promise you, I was just thinking about that. I was like, yo, I would hate to get hit by one of them. Jeez, yo. But I'm gonna be real, yo. I didn't get to watch the first fight.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the first fight.
Go watch it. You'll like it.
I seen a couple little highlights and stuff like that. I'm maybe Usyk.
Going for Usyk again?
Yeah, I might lean towards Usyk a little bit more. Unless Joshua, from what I seen, if he Joshua's real. I don't know how to put it. I just feel like Usyk just got his numbers. Some people just got certain people's numbers and stuff like that. And I just feel like Usyk just got his number. Joshua really good heavyweight and stuff like that. Ain't taking nothing away from him, but just certain people just got certain people's numbers. There's a couple people in the amateurs I just couldn't beat.
Right.
Man, thank you for admitting that, man. Thank you.
I go right back. I won it. I'm a fight. I want my get back. It was just certain people I just couldn't
Like,
beat.
God,
I'm like,
God,
bruh,
man.
yo.
And people don't admit that, and that says a lot for a fighter to admit that. Like, people
That's real.
forget. Look at Vernon Forrest versus Shane Mosley. He could not get Vernon to say his life, whether it was the amateurs or the pros. He just couldn't get him. And my father told me, he said, it's just some guys that just got your number that you can't lick. It's just what it is. And to the whole thing about the heavyweight jump, bro.
Yeah.
Side funny story. Me and Dusty in the back up at Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Borders, me, Dusty getting ready or whatever, and Dusty had his hands right, but he had on like his track jacket and he was fully dressed. But he got like another 6 fights to go before he really gonna glove up with him. So he like, you know how sometimes when you watch fight, because you're the fighter, they kind of keep you hidden. Yeah. So we can see the crowd and see the fight, but y'all can't see us. So we watching, we about a good 200 feet, 300 feet away from the ring. Dwayne, I'll never forget these two names. You ain't heard of these two dudes since. They named Dwayne Mobley and Ryan Shea. Slim. All you heard. Boom, 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 boom. Slim. Me and Dusty was doing this. Like, Dusty was bouncing, and Dusty go, oh, shit.
Yo.
And I'm standing, Kevin Borders pacing back because he was the next fight up. Kevin was like a 40-pounder. He paced on, he do this.
Nah.
Because I never forget what I was taught. Your head stay the same. No matter how big you get, your head stay the same size, dog. And I'm like, I never forget. I seen a heavyweight put on the fight gloves, and me and my father in the dressing room, right? Because my father had a fighter that night. I said, Dad, I think they bought him the wrong gloves. They got him putting on 10 ounces.
Oh, man.
My father looked, he said, nah, man. That's the. I said, huh?
He made him look like 6 ounces or
Huh?
something.
Bruh.
Yo.
Bruh. And then they skinned the glove too. Like he put them joints on and they pulled the laces back and taped it up here. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
About to get with that?
I said, son, I looked at my father. I said, so he ain't wearing 12s? I thought it was 8s, 10s. And then the heavyweights is 12. They say, nah, man, don't work like that. They wear 10s. I was like,
yo.
It's brutal, son.
Done.
Damn.
It's brutal.
Done.
Bruh.
Done.
Oh, hell no. I never get somebody told my father. I was working with a light heavyweight. man, Don, you should have your son keep lifting more weights or whatever, but do it in more bulk instead of lean, keeping it lean, and have him go up to like 54 at the time in the amateurs.
That's what got Joshua
I
ass
was
in
at
trouble.
Slim. I'm at 32, 38. This is before I got sick. And my father was like, nah, man, them dudes gotta lose to get to that weight. My son gotta eat to get to that weight.
Made no sense.
Skill-wise, skill for skill, I believe Silk, be fine with anybody. But them dudes, man, you know who was weighing at 41 pounds, who was weighing at 52 pounds? Allen Russell. Gary
no.
Allen Russell.
No.
Mike, yes indeed, Reed. Day-Day Grayton was at 52.
We
Marquise Moore is at 52.
Yeah.
Shit.
You talking about some punishment right there, boy.
Hell no.
Oh my
That-
God.
Hell no.
Even
That'd have been some punishment,
those them
man.
dudes that when you pick they jab, like man, even when I worked with Jared Big Ass, dog, Chris, this made me realize, like, man, I am good, and I would never go away. If I'm eating and I go to the hospital, like with my illness, if I you get IV fluids a lot, and it pump you up. If I go to 54, like, nah, man, if I'm going back in the gym and dad wants me to do circle work with somebody, I'm going to lose this shit so I can look smaller.
Yeah.
Man, Jared threw one jab, bro. I'm moving around with him. Uncle Nestor go, yeah, you going to move around with Jared today. I said, I'm just out the hospital or whatever. He said, you going to move around with him? I said, we helping him move out of his house? He said, nah, you move around with him. Like, tango? He said, merengue. He go, man, stop acting like you can't fight, man. Go get dressed.
Yeah.
So he throw me in there first. Hey, because he needed speed. They wanted him to have some speed to get adjusted or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting faster, whatever. Uncle Nestor said, time, tiempo. Sabrino, like pick it up, basically saying in Spanish, time.
Yeah.
Sabrino, pick it up. So he says, Jared, hey man, my nephew, I know he just coming back or whatever, but my nephew he been in the gym all his life. He know how to handle it, so you ain't got to put everything on it. But I look at this dude, why you blowing up my spot for? Like, why you blowing up my shit? Like,
That's crazy,
man, Jared threw one jab, bro. You feel it's like a poop. Like, dude, you
Wait.
Come here, man. We black men. We don't need to be doing this
We don't
to
gotta
each other.
be
Give me a
beefing.
hug. Like, this is
Hey,
what
real
you
quick, let me
hitting
ask you
with?
though, bro. Let me ask you though. So, who would you like to work with as far as sparring? Like, get some tough sparring rounds in.
I want to work with Dog Bay.
Isaac?
Yeah,
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I want to work with him.
That's doable too, because he's right down the street.
They right down the street. So
Yeah.
I think, me and Wayne after this fight for him and stuff, we gonna get some work in, and I think
Good.
we're gonna go down there, headbangers get some work.
Yeah.
So honestly, like anybody, man, but definitely Dog Bay. I just like his style. It kind of remind me of myself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like Dog Bay.
Yeah, I was
And
asking because y'all talking about tough sparring, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, when you get that call, like say you got a call from like, for example, Lomachenko's like, I like the work you're doing. I want to get some work with the blueprint. Like, would that be some work you would take?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
Get
money
paid.
you about to
Yeah,
get paid.
I'm about for
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
bro. You thinking how I'm thinking.
For
Hell
one,
yeah.
I'm about to get paid and just the
Mhm.
experience. You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah.
like honestly, I was just thinking about this the other day. Like everything moving so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm already about to be 4-0.
Right.
Next thing I know, I'm be 10-0. So I gotta start, sparring with these, seeing different looks and stuff like that. So when I get to like that next level, it ain't no surprise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but it's all about balancing it.
Mm-hmm.
You work with certain dudes, and then when you're not in camp, maybe work with somebody else and stuff like that. So everything don't got to be hard, hard sparring.
Yeah.
But you do need some hard sparring here and there. You know what I mean?
Just to get those looks.
Keep your body,
Yeah, because also, what's his name? I was just talking about him today. Dominique Crowder.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Have you gotten any work in with him? Because he's a tall guy at a little division.
So yeah, I got a lot of rounds in with Dominique Crowder. So ever since I think it was my pro debut because he fought on that card too. We cool. We talked and all that, and then I worked with him for I think maybe it was like 2 fights. It might have been 2 fights I worked with him. But yeah, we spar here and there every so often. But yeah, he the truth too, man.
What's special about him to you?
He's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Not just his height. Like a lot of people they'll use like the the physical
typical
attributes.
stuff.
You know what I'm saying, as an advantage. But like he don't just use that. You know what I mean? Like he's tall, obviously, and rangy, but he's also a thinker. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot from these guys too. You know what I mean? So he's smart. really, really good ring generalship. He knows his distance really good. He knows when he got to be on his toes on his defense, and then where he can hit me at, I can't hit him. So we iron sharpens iron. We got really, really good rounds in.
Yeah, because he's at 118 too, right?
Nah, he's at 22, but
He at 22?
he been saying he trying to fight somebody at 118. I don't know how his tall self going to do it. I
Cause
ask him that all the time. I don't get it.
No, it's because how lean our bodies are.
Yeah,
it's so much more easier to just shrink that weight off. Now, of course, there is a limit. There's still going to be it might be 18. Like, oh, now you can't go no further, or whatever. But I've noticed that being in the gym, guys that were in the gym with me that were a little bit more stocky or whatever, they drink or eat one thing and they weight go up, like it'll balloon up. Or the ones that's thinner will wind up shrinking the weight off with no problem, more easier. But to your point though about going to these different camps, it's irreplaceable. Like how when you play football, you had so many camps. Like everybody wanted to just, if you went to that camp, you was somebody type of thing almost.
Combines and stuff.
Yeah, those combines and things like that. I always tell people I can never replace what I learned being in those, not just because it was Jared, because we all grew up together. We all grew up in Hillcrest together. But once Jared had reached that level to where it was top 15 and everything, those experiences is irrefutable. Like you can't buy, people will literally buy their way into account. Or when Dusty went to work with Canelo, those, not everything about it, them feeding you, making sure you're good, you sparring with them, sometimes giving you free. Brandon Quarles, when I was with Brandon Quarles, they went down to Tokyo with Mushida. He was down there with him. Miyata, that was his name, Miyata, right? I think that was his name. Went down there with him. Like those experiences is stuff you tell your grandchildren. Like, man, I mean, and how things work with those camps. And how as you keep progressing those camps and they want you back, next thing you know, they want you back, and it's even better the next time because they're improving as you improving on how to run the camp and how to get better.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Is like when you get that call, it's like you're gonna be ready to go in there and show them the blueprint. You know
absolutely.
Now
man,
imagine
that was hard. Show them the blueprint.
Yeah, show them the blueprint.
Oh my God.
Y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it. Yeah.
That was hard.
But you know what else is gonna be dope? Now imagine Blue come back with tricks he got up his sleeve after that.
Absolutely. That's you learn.
He go 8 weeks with Dog Bay, and we've seen how Dog Bay's progressed. Or he goes into camp with Shakur or Lomachenko, just any of those people down the list. Matter of fact, start back with Dog Bay. Dog Bay all of a sudden cool with any of those other guys at 22, and they say, yeah, man, I got to go into camp. I'm looking for sparring partners. Well, hey, yo, I know this guy out of Maryland.
Have you talked to Dog Bay yet?
Nah, I don't know if my coach did, but I was supposed to go down there and spar one time. I was supposed to go spar him, but I think I went to go spar with like Crowder or something like that instead.
I got you.
Because like leading up to this fight, I didn't know who I was fighting, so I had to work with like different styles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to my boy because he's pretty tapped in and tight with that camp. Okay. And Dog Bay's really personable. You can talk to him. He's real humble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can probably make that happen very soon.
Imagine Dog Bay after he worked with Blue, time progressed, he go fight at ESPN or whatever, and he's just chit chatting.
Connections, baby.
Next thing you know, you looking for an extra spot? Yeah, I got like 2, but I also need like 2 more for the camp or whatever. And next thing you know, hey man, I know this guy. He knows how to slide in, slide out. He actually can help you with the guy you're about to fight. He knows how to pull.
Good point, yo.
Yeah.
You give a lot of guys good sparring, good rounds.
Yeah, and then after that, next thing you go, I got a guy named Chris. He knows how to slide in, slide out. That's perfect for the guy you about to fight. And then when he come back, all the tricks that he know, and then next thing you know, we see Chris fight again. Next, like, yo, he done improved even more now. Like, God Almighty.
I'm gonna do some crazy stuff. Look at you.
Yeah. Hey yo.
Yo, man, it's definitely coming, man. But look, man, we been on here. We didn't talk with you, got to know you a little bit, man. Is there anything you would like to say to the people in the chat that's watching before we let you go, brother?
Just want to first off, shout out my sponsors, Ink Slaves, clothing brand, Regenerate Float, Float Center, Sauna Center, Perry Bauer, I think it's Safety, I believe so, and then Mitts 9 to 5 Masterclass. That's the dude. I took his class to get into real estate and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And then just want to give a shout out, to Corey, man, for always looking out for me, my whole team, all my supporters, and that's about it.
Real quick, before we let you go up out of here, we got a gift for you. We got the
indeed.
Hibernation 5 headphones by Kenichi, Bear.
You
know
see
what
they look like right here.
So you can go ahead and rock out with those.
Yeah, they go right here. What they look like.
And they boom, man. I don't know if you had them on yet or heard about them, but them things, they nice.
I be hearing good things.
Yeah, they boom, man. So get you through your fight week. You know what I'm saying? Get you hyped up for the fight. Who are you listening to before the fight? Actually, let me ask you that before we let you go.
Oh man, y'all been listening to a lot of GS2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He do got some shit. That shit be cranking.
He been cranking lately, but just to know him, Meek, just to know him.
Always Meek. Yeah, Meek always go too.
Yeah, Meek always get it going.
I like Ace Hood too. The old Ace.
Yeah, the old Ace. Yeah, the old Ace. The old Ace.
Yes.
Yeah. Old Ace is crazy, man. But yeah, man, look, we appreciate you coming through the show, showing love and Flip the Counter, brother.
Oh,
appreciate y'all.
I got to get you to sign the gloves, man. It'll be an honor, man.
You sign the gloves?
Yeah, anyone. Go ahead, shake it. I got the gold one and you got a silver one. Go ahead, shake it up and then go ahead, right.
All right, look, while he's signing the gloves, guys, we're going to take a quick break and go to One Coach's Opinion from Coach Fox.
Hey, what's up, everybody? One Coach's Opinion. One Coach's Opinion. Remember, that's what it is. My opinion, not a fact. It's not a fact. So what I want to talk to you about today was a fight that took place last night at Maryland Live with Jordan White. It was the main event. Jordan White versus a kid, Derek Murray. I just say kid, not a kid, but a young man named Derek Murray, a professional. Derek Murray was 16-4, I guess, and Jordan was 12-1. So wasn't like a overmatched fight or anything like that. It was good balanced fight. So this is how I saw the fight. Let me say this. I saw Jordan clearly win the first round. Dude tried to press the issue. He ran into some shots. He got caught. They were kind of bully knockdowns. You catch a guy, you still coming forward, he all bounced. But I hate this guy, and I did knock him down. It was really Jordan's movement. He changed direction, a little bit of balance, a little bit of power. But they were legitimate knockdowns. So that puts Jordan ahead. 2 knockdowns, 10-7 round. But the kid comes out the second round, Derek Murray, comes out the second round, the third round, the fourth round, and starts pressing the issue. Now, meanwhile, let me say this. Jordan is defensively blocking a lot of this guy's shots. Never really once did I see Jordan where I was like, oh my God, he's hurt, he's stumbling or nothing like that. He's blocking the shots, but in my opinion, he wasn't firing back like he should. He was just blocking a lot of them. Clean here. Guard was tight, movement was okay, And I thought the guy came back in the fight. Now say towards the mid to end, like 6-7. I think Jordan started stepping it up a little bit. They started trading a little bit, I think the dude's really only punches really to me landing cleanly is that left, and Jordan's eye had a little bit of problem. So now Jordan's digging down. I could see his father was saying something to him in the corner, and I guess he must say, hey, man, you gonna have to dig. You gonna have to start, punching. So Jordan started really kind of turning the guy, fighting a little bit smarter, letting his hands go quicker and stronger, laying the combinations rather than trying to trade with the guy. And he started turning the fight around, in my opinion. That's really what started turning the fight around. He was landing the better shots, and when Jordan led his attack, and maybe because of the dude bounced and he leaned back a lot, it made Jordan look like he was hurting this guy, and he probably was. I'm just telling you the situation. So like, well, he wasn't hurt. Well, he was looking hurt. Let's say that. Jordan's punches looked like it had way more effect on him than his punches did on Jordan. Let's say that. So I really felt the last round Jordan pulled out. So maybe give him the first, and you can say 8, 9, 7, 7, 8, 9, or 10. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? And a mixture of the mid rounds. Let's say that. I'm not gonna say what round was it, but I felt he did enough that he pulled out a hard, tough fight. I mean, when I tell you he pulled it out, man, I'm talking about digging. He's turning the guy, he's catching the guy, he's catching out of bounds. Like I said, even in the last round, it looked like Jordan was trying to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like he was about to be somewhat successful in doing that. So, this is what I didn't like about the fight. What took, yeah, Jordan, way to dig it out. Oh, yeah, hey, man, hey, you battle tested, blah, blah, blah. Man, y'all had to kind of work for this. You know what I'm saying? This was no cupcake walk. This show what type of fighter you are. All of that. All of that is erased when a judge scores a fight 100 to like 80 to 80 something. You're not gonna give this kid a round, man. I mean, I'm just saying, judges can have a way of tampering with the beautiful fight I saw. The beautiful fact that he came from behind. Now, if you give a score like 100 to something, it makes it look like, what are you talking about, man? Jordan crushed this guy. And that's not what happened. And I'm not trying to take from his fight. I'm just telling you how hard he had to work to get this win. I thought he won, especially based on those knockouts he put in the earlier round, in the first round. Now, I'll be honest, you take those knockdowns away, he might lose this fight, in my opinion. You take those knockdowns away, in my opinion, the results could be different. If not a draw, the other guy could have won. Those knockdowns are very important. They weren't gifts. They weren't mistakes. They weren't slips. They were very well earned knockdowns. So get that there. The dude, I give him his credit for saying, okay, you knocked me down. Now here I come. I give him his credit. Jordan blocks a lot of punches. Then Jordan starts leading his assault, and he starts leading the way. And I'm giving Jordan his credit. But when you had a judge that watched a beautiful fight like that, it just puts an ugly stain on our body of work. Not only did it slap that guy in the face, to me it slapped Jordan in the face. Because anybody said, well, if they just read about it, they're gonna say, what are you talking about, man? Jordan crushed this kid. You know, they brought in another kid, Jordan just went to work on. No, that's not gonna reflect the dog I saw attack. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna reflect the fight I saw. The fight I saw should have been something like, you know, I'm not 90, 96, 94, something around that area, to represent how hard this kid had to go to war to win this fight, to make sure he could seal the deal. I thought, like I said, I thought he was landing the cleaner shots, but this guy would not stop coming forward. He would not stop coming forward, which was kind of dictating the fight and making this guy look, I can't say making him look better. I mean, he was looking, you know, like, hey, it looked like a championship fight. Let's say that. It looked like a championship fight. But it's just how, I mean, judges, y'all just don't know how y'all really can affect the sport and turn a fight like that into, I don't know what you want to say, you know what I'm saying? It just took away. A lot of people saying, look, come on. That's what everybody said about the fight. Come on. 100. When you hear the word 100, he won every round. I'm not even gonna say that, man. I love the kid to death, man. Love his father. Since the amateurs, we used to go to war with, you know, a kid that I had that used to fight Jordan all the time. You know what I'm saying? Through all that, going to pros, we saw the bigger picture. Became what I would call friends. in the situation, and we did our thing. You know, I come watch his son. He supports my sons. But in all honesty, and I'll tell him, man, Jordan went to war. You know what I'm saying? He had a tough one on his hands, and he pulled it out. I didn't feel that kid got robbed. I felt Jordan legitimately earned a battle. That's how I felt about the fight. And I just feel the score should reflect that. No judge should just erase the fact that the other kid really put in a lot of work. And Jordan worked through that and came across with a victory. That's how I say some of these judges out here can affect people and they don't realize it. Like, what fight did you watch? You know what I'm saying? Give it a legitimate so we can have a legitimate legitimate outcome and there's no complaints. Don't stain this with a bias, you know, because that makes people never want to come here and fight. Man, I went there, man, look at this fight. They didn't give me not one round. It just stains the sport. And it stains the performance of this kid. When I tell you, I'm telling you, it probably wasn't no fight on TV yesterday that was a better competitive fight than what I saw last night live at Maryland Live. Not yesterday. Maybe some other day, but not yesterday. Yesterday, probably the best fight in the country took place at Maryland Live. Giving Jordan White his credit for digging out. You know, judges do a little bit more, do a little better job. You know what I'm saying? You know, I felt my soldier dug it out, but give the other guy credit. Otherwise, you take the credit away from the dig. That's all I'm trying to say. One coach's opinion. I don't know who was there, but tell me how you felt about the fight. I thought it was all-out war. You know what I'm saying? I thought, once again, Jordan White has proved that he's a battle-tested fighter. One coach opinion. I'm out. Congratulations, Jordan White, on that win. Congratulations.
All right, we back, guys. We back. That was one coach's opinion with Coach Fox. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Hands with Plans. He breaking down the fights. He just broke down the Jordan White fight from last weekend at the Maryland Live. He was in a tough fight, a barn burner. It was a close fight, man. It was an entertaining fight to say the least, but like we've already spoke about, you know, recently, it's hard seeing Jordan in those tough fights right now because he's trying to reach a level in his career where that could take away from his maximum, from his ceiling. You know what I'm saying? So again, great victory, Jordan. You did your damn thing, baby. You went in there, you fought your ass off. But those are tough fights. That's a tough fight to watch, man. There's a lot of damage being taken and given in that fight. He did score some beautiful knockdowns. But that guy he fought was tough. That was a tough joker he had to get in there with, man. He couldn't put him out. And he hit him with everything but the kitchen sink. You know what I'm saying? I already know how you feel about it, bro, but go ahead and do your thing.
Man, I'm so proud of, I'm so proud of Short, man. We've known him since he was about 11 years old, man, quick. We all trained together for years. You know, we were boxing brothers before we found out we was cousins. Crazy, right? But so it's just hard for me to talk about because when you have teammates that you're close with and you know they got that dog in them, you always have this worry in your back of your mind. You always do. Because, you know, they don't mind being in tough fights. They're going to answer the bell. And that's always a worry. And with I wasn't at the last fight, the fight before last, before the kid named Brandon Valdez. Brandon Valdez, from what I was told, also he dropped early on and gave him a lot of work afterwards. And people were telling me, because they saw me screaming at the ring, you know, at Short, they was like, man, dog, it was worse his last fight. You know, he was wobbled. And when you dealing with a fighter like Short who don't mind being in tough fights, you worry about, you know, him being in fights like that this soon. Because what you worry about is when you fight tough fights like that, it takes a lot of. You could lose your prime in a single bout. It wasn't to that magnitude though, but little by little, every time you step in that ring, a little bit of it comes out of you. A little bit of it leaves you, and when it's gone, you don't get it back. When it's gone completely, you never get it back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just don't. And as you fight these tough fights, you look at it like one of the guys said in there, man, he's in a tough fight, but you don't want him to be in them tough fights this soon. You know, you look for him to be in them tough fights when he in the top 5, you know, top 3, where he's going. You know, you like, okay, he's gonna be in those tough fights, and you know he's gonna be there when it's time for him to bite down. Cause like for instance, 9th, 10th round, Short got up off the stool and rushed him. It was right back on him. But you know, you think, all right, I don't want him to be in those tough fights this early on. Right before the top 15, right on the edge of the top 15. You don't want that, you know. So that's just the worry. That's the worry, because you know how unforgiving this game is, you know. And I remember when he got out the ring, he saw me and he gave me a hug, and I said, "You okay?" He said, "Man, you know they don't call me Short Dog for nothing." I said, "I don't care about that. Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm good."
Right.
You know,
and that's a good point too, because I feel what you're saying, but in these brutal sports, I'm gonna speak from my personal experience, not from boxing but playing football. It's like
at a high level,
I knew every time I stepped on that field, I done dealt with injuries, broke both collarbones, torn hammies, ankles is gone, my knees is basically gone now. But I wouldn't trade any of those injuries from the glory I got from playing that sport. Everything I went through was worth it. All the injuries, I wouldn't take none of those back to not have got the glory I got and the feeling I got, that high I got, and the adrenaline from being on that field with my brothers and playing that sport. So I feel like Short Dog knows exactly what he getting himself into.
Of
like,
course.
You know what I'm saying? And I think when you sign up for this, it's like, you know the risk you taking and the possibility of the damage. And you're probably willing to get into those kind of fights.
Yes. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is sure, and there's some guys that sign up for it that don't actually read the fine print. They read it and they know that part, but they don't read the other part. Some of them, they don't even know about being punchy or those different things.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, with Short is, you know he's gonna be in those fights like that, but you don't want it to be right now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like for instance, you told me about how to fight different guys there that was like, yo, you know, he fought Brandon Valdez, and I done seen Brandon Valdez fight before he fought Jordan.
Yeah.
And everybody was telling me about, from what was going on last Saturday, that the fight before that with Brandon was worse. And the guy was way better skill set than the guy that he just fought.
Mm-hmm.
This kid sometimes didn't know where his feet was at. He just kept coming, throwing a lot of shots. Mm-hmm. But sometimes he'll lose his feet under him, things like that. Mm-hmm. You know, but you look at it as, there's going to be nights where you're going to have to just bite down on that mouthpiece, and they say, all right, you make that decision to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to step out there.
Yeah.
But you want it for somebody like Short Dog who bout it. Mm-hmm. Been bout it. Always been bout it. Since he was 10, 11 years old, I knew him. He was always, when we was in the gym, he bout it. Mm-hmm. But you want him to do that in the championship rounds when he gets to the top 5 where he's going.
I feel what you're saying. You're saying, like, don't empty the tank yet. Ease off the gas a little bit.
You know, because I felt like he could have outboxed this guy a little better. I felt like he could have outboxed him better.
Save that from when you going for the unified WBC, WBO title. Save it for that moment.
Thank you. Because I felt like he could have used more of his amateur skills that I know. Because this dude, I felt like he could have used his amateur skills, skill sets, and outboxed this guy a little better and made him look like a fool a little bit better. But he, you know, I don't know if it was the crowd or what, but he was willing to bang a little more.
Right.
Then I felt like, come on, I don't want you. But come on, turn this fool. Yeah. Step around this fool.
It's hard to watch, but it's like, that's what I was asking you, because it's like, how do y'all turn that switch? Because I know, like, from just like my mentality, if I'm getting hit, I want to hit back. If you put me on my ass, I'm coming to put you on your ass. So I feel like when he was in there and he was getting caught with a couple shots, you saw him bite down on his mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, this is war?
And ran out there in the 9th and 10th.
Right. Ran out. And I heard John in the corner tell him, like, no, let's go, baby. We need this one right here, baby. And he shook his head. Got right
Yep.
back in there and brought the fight. It was a barn burner. It was a tough fight, but man, was it a hell of a fucking fight. I'm sorry for cursing, but damn, that was a hell of a fight, man. Brandon Valdez, it was a hell of a fight. 2 tough fights. But
Back
those
to
are
back.
man, and I feel what you're saying, but it's so memorable. And I
Yes.
just got so much admiration for Jordan from the heart he displayed to pull through with victories through both of those fights, especially his last fight. Even with the knockdowns, I still had it close. Like that heart and that will is just something that you can't really teach. Either you got it or you don't. And for him to go in there and put on that performance, man, it's like, yo, hats off to you, man, for real.
You know, he knows I love him to death.
No,
he
for
knows.
sure, yeah. You
I
looking out
just-
for him for his
yes,
well-being. You want him to
I want him
his
to,
well-being.
Yeah, I want him
Yeah.
to throw that out there
Mhm.
when he gets that shot at the WBC belt
Mhm.
or the interim belt. Because then you got to think the skill level rises,
Mhm.
and then he's gonna have to adjust and then maybe bite down and dig those 8 to 12.
Mhm.
I'm just saying that I felt like, oh, this dude couldn't even pivot. I don't, and he was willing to bang with him. And they was like, because like I said, Short been like that since we were 10, 11 years old. Like, when you tell him to walk, when you tell him to box, he's going to box. But when you tell him to walk, he's going to walk.
He come, yeah.
And what did I say before about his mentality? He's like Lamont Peterson.
Mhm.
He can box beautifully. But when he get hit, you piss him off.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you get mad, how do you dial it back?
How? Shit.
How do you dial it back?
All right. So with me, perfect example. We just had one coach's opinion with Mr. Troy, with Coach Troy. So, Coach, you got 2 sons that got the dog in them, but the difference is, and Tez admitted to you, Tez, I done seen him in spawn session with Day and like right there in the pocket with Day.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey Fox, it don't matter what you do, what you hit him with, the way he gonna bite down is sticking to the game plan and executing it even more.
Controlled
That's how he
aggression.
is.
Control with
He-
finesse.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it's
Okay.
and with me, it's been times where I done been clipped or whatever, and I still stayed harnessed until Dad said, "Don't take another step backwards, walk."
Mm-hmm.
So that, and you know how I'm fearful of that, man.
Right.
So I ain't want to deal with it. Man, I ain't tell you to do that because you heard stories. That man will not be there when you get back to the corner.
No, for sure.
So it goes both ways, and it all depends on the temperament of that guy and how you harness that guy, that particular guy.
For sure. Hey guys, look, we have a call-in feature available. If you guys want to call in, talk to us, ask us any questions about anything boxing. You guys can call in. We got the number on the screen with the access code. Call in and then we'll chime you in. We'll dime you in. So that's available right now. Call in right now.
Basically, he's saying now all the stuff that Junior been talking, y'all can now call and cuss him out because you ain't got to worry about nothing.
Well, cuss me out too. It don't matter.
Nah, they
It don't
gonna
matter.
love you. They gonna cuss me out. I'm losing my golden boy image. Yeah, man. Little by
No,
little.
man, you good,
They gonna
bro.
be cussing me out soon.
You doing your thing, man. You really doing your thing. Another thing we wanted to talk about today, these horrendous scorecards with these judges, man, and how they can sometimes deflate a fighter and take the air, smooth out their tires with these terrible ass cards, these terrible ass scoring. You know what I'm saying? One of the most notable and we saw this weekend, one of the most memorable ones. It was the anniversary recently with Mike Fox. Terrible scorecard.
That hurt my soul, man. That hurt my father bad too. Hurt my mom too. That hurt everybody.
I heard everybody.
Anybody that knew him.
Yeah, because you saw his reaction.
Rewind it back.
Wow.
Rewind it back. Go back and watch the tape when the first scorecard got announced. You see Mikey do this. You see Fest do this.
Didn't sound right. None of
The
that sounded
first
right.
scorecard.
Yeah.
What do I always say about these scorecards? Listen to the points. It'd be like, if you hear one judge has it 3 points one way, another judge has 2 points another way, and the third judge be having it 10 points away. Did we not just see that this weekend? We both had Jordan winning, but we didn't have it 100 to 88.
That was ridiculous, man.
That
was
joke
ridiculous.
was crazy. We was like, oh,
It's like,
alrighty then.
what are you watching?
And once
What are you
again,
watching?
a lot of the judges is people who ain't never boxed before, never was in a training camp, never been hit before, never sparred before, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts when it's these people who take it from you. And it hurts worse when they never boxed before. But the thing that get me, you got all these great fighters that's retired.
Yeah, why don't they get in there and start scoring?
Exactly. You got
That's a
all
good
these
point.
great fighters.
Never thought about that.
Matter of fact, I'll give you know what? And we're going to clip this right here. Need Miss K, get ready to clip this real quick. How about we do this? Since y'all hear about all these great fighters that don't have as much money as they should have and all this other stuff that's retired, how about we give them jobs as being the judges? Because a lot of these guys were top amateurs, top pros, world champs. They know what they looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it needs to be sanctions on these. The thing is, they did that whole thing about Mikey Fox's, the lady who did what she did.
Yeah.
But the thing was, she was back doing small cars up in Florida.
Right
They did it. She was supposedly suspended, but she was doing small cars, I think, in Florida, from what I was told. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I was told about multiple people, that she was doing small cars. So, and then how that whole thing worked was, y'all got to go back and read it. And two, some of it is not going to be up there for reading because it's just you got to be in the game and be talking to certain people and listen to certain stuff to get it. But that whole thing, the fight was lost before it even happened from what it sounded like to me because of that guy's nationality, the people who run the WBA's nationality, and certain judges' nationality, from what I was told.
Right. And Mike wasn't supposed to go in there and win.
He was not.
He was not
supposed to win.
So when he scored the knockdown, everybody said,
uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Because they was banking on, we know what Mike's been doing in strength and conditioning, how much stronger he's gotten. But, and how he's just like Paulie Malignaggi with how he throws his left hand. He throws it with such perfect technique. Well, how he turns it is like, you're going to feel the snap out of it regardless. It's even worse if he gets you on the end of it type of thing. And then the precision of where he wants to hit you. So they was not banking on this rugged guy, Olympian, to get put on the floor. With this is what y'all don't understand about these judges, man. They do this stuff and there is no punishment.
I was about to get to that.
There's no punishment. But if even in the amateurs, I never forget, years ago, this girl fought up at Ray Leonard's. I think it was a show. It wasn't even a tournament. It was a show. And she beat the mess out of this girl. And they gave it to the other girl. And I think Floyd Faye was like, I want y'all to be able to see, like, give me your wrist. Like, you know how they hold it? And she started, like, relax your wrist. Now, once they said it was the other girl. Now tighten your wrist up like you mad. She said, relax. It's okay. It's okay. Stop. All right. Cause they will remember that and do it worse to you till you get the picture. That is so cruddy how it could go down. From the Mickey Collin thing to the Roy Jones thing. This is just the amateurs we talking about. Let's really unpack this real quick. Because this pissed me off. We're gonna start with the amateurs. Mickey Collin starts to go fight. He beat this dude in the World Championships, beat this dude in I forget what European tournament. Beat this guy already. Walking down the tunnel, they jawing back and forth or whatever. And he said, good luck, Mick. It's already over. He said, what are you talking about? He said 3-0, meaning 0. Like 3-0. Our guy. He said, nah, never. Because basically saying I already done beat this guy. And the other dude looks at him and says, nah, it's already in the bag, baby, 3-0. That's why you see Mickey start to jump on him the way he jumped on him when he was covered in blood like that. Jumping on like he was really trying to go for the knockout. And they wouldn't give it to him. And then, what did you hear? It's the biggest sound bite since forget it. It's what Mickey Collins said, and the way he said it was the biggest soundbite you could think of it, because you saw it come out of it, from Floyd's to Shakur's to Earl's, all these guys. He said, man, these guys, like, what they take it from me? Like, the amateur boxing stinks from the core right to the top. It's always been, it's just horrible that he was going in and gave them the middle finger and kept it moving. And I praise him for that, because some amateur fighters can't do that because of what they think of later on of getting the eyes gonna handle it. Then you go to the pros.
He got him back.
Yeah, he fought him in the pros.
He got it back in blood.
He got it back.
Shout out Pooh Shiesty.
But
that, man.
But in the amateurs, you taking away their opportunity to win gold and have sponsorships, have all of these things. Now, let's go
real quick. That's the point I was making last episode, though. Was, do the amateur losses hurt more?
It depends. I think it hurt more depending on the person in the country, because some guys just want to stay amateur.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the amateur joints be really fucking dudes up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because some of them be having certain sponsorships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they take away or certain things that go on under the table and they take it away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, matter of fact, I'll let you touch on the amateur fight first, then we'll go to the pro. Go ahead, give me your opinion on what you think.
Well, yeah, because I mean, stuff. As an amateur, a lot of these kids, they start off as kids. And like that's their dream as babies, man. They want to amateur. They think gold medals, Olympics, the hoorah, the Olympics, going to Tokyo or wherever, Greece, wherever it may be, you know what I'm saying? And that's huge for them. And then to go there at a young age and take a loss, I feel like you're not mature enough to handle that kind of beat down yet, that kind of weight of taking a loss like that at that magnitude. So I feel like it weighs more on you.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? As a grown man, you more mature, you more able to take those kind of losses. And something you have to mature into. And
to your point, you're a baby getting robbed by adults. Like, even though you're in the Olympics, so you're probably a teenager or a young adult, like 2021 or whatever, the youngest,
still
24.
A kid at that age, though.
You're still a kid. You're not really grown till, how they say you're not really grown till you're 27. Sometimes.
I just grew up a couple weeks ago. And I just turned 30.
So a lot of them guys, you taking it from them, and it's like you start getting upset and crying. It's like, man, these adults, they're supposed to be older than me, and they tell me to do the right things, all that stuff, and they just did this to me. I think that's also to your point, what you're also thinking as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, these adults
that too
did this to me.
It's a lot surrounding that loss as a child. You know what I'm saying? I know I was a kid. We lost our championship game. Boy, I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. It was like, yo, we worked so hard. There was so much hype around it. We got escorted to the field and everything, and goddamn lost. I mean, it was bad. That loss was hard. I think we got a call in.
Yeah, don't forget, I still want to go back to the pro zone too. So
go ahead.
No. Oh, while we get the phone call, let me know, because I still want to go to the pro part. That jump.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. How in the world? Hold on, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. We are trying to figure this out.
While my brother handles that, I'll go ahead and speak on the pro thing. Now you grown. Now it's so much more on the line, because you taking care of a family. Oh, we got it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go ahead. Let's shoot for it. Go ahead.
Let's bring this call in there. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Is this a podcast?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for calling in. We're doing well.
Good. I just was calling in because I don't normally watch boxing or anything, but I came across y'all's show and I think y'all are doing a great job.
Oh,
and I
thank you,
number,
man.
So I was like, let me call and say hello.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you for calling in. We greatly appreciate that.
Great.
Trying. Thank you, man.
Thanks for answering.
Yes, man.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. That was dope. I'm
That
glad
was
that was
dope.
the first call.
Yeah, that was
Just to
that's
tell us to keep going.
right.
Keep going.
That always feels good, man. Like I was saying at the fight this week or last weekend, like
Man.
the amount of people that came up to us and just recognized us from either the T-shirts or from the podcast, and
Crazy.
like, man, we watched your whole episode. Like, you know, like that feels good, man. So thank you for calling in and thank you for tuning into the show. It's greatly appreciated. Really. Yeah.
But
Yeah, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
the pros is different now. You making that big leap. It's higher price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you still young, like you don't got no kids, you don't got a wife, it's just you and your family. And as you progress, now you get robbed. And as they take it from you, you now got to throw another 10,000 punches to get back to that point. See, the thing y'all don't understand is you heard Andre Ward say, you heard so many guys say, when you lose, they could cut your pay grade in half. Teofimo, who we also got to get into because he fights tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Teo, when he fought Lomachenko, they put on the contract that when you lose, when they didn't say if in how does it say on contract? Say if in result, something like that. If in result you lose, it's worded more that way, like a possibility is worded that way. That if you lose, this is gonna be your next 3 fights pay. And how it was cut in half. That's how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they did it. And Andre Ward, when he fought in the Super 6, or when he fought all these different guys, they put that out there. How you did it this time. Yeah, we ain't gonna skip past that. Y'all caught that, right? Y'all heard the echo? Y'all heard that? Yeah. And they hold on. For once, I ain't had no echo. Dang it. Engineers, y'all caught that, right? Yes, sir. Now.
Go ahead.
Hey, man, let me have my small victory, dang it. Tell him, Ms. K, tell him, Nisha, let me have my small victory for once, dang it. Now, Andre Ward signed it, and it said you will get paid this after you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had it set up. Victor Ortiz, when he fought Andre Berto, they didn't even have the belt there for him. The belt had Andre Berto's name engraved on it, had his picture engraved on it. It was already set for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how it be sometimes. Now, let's say if you got a family. So let's look at it like this. You fight and you see your friends fighting on Showtime, Showbox the New Generation, or you see them fighting on Friday night fights.
Mm-hmm.
Man, why did they take that away? Tuesday night fights and Friday night fights.
Yep.
Or when I was a kid, remember USA Tuesday night fights.
Yeah, Tuesday. He's fighting on Wednesdays too. He fights on Wednesdays sometimes.
But anyways, you had people, man, yeah, my man, I'll never forget this guy named Poe. Y'all know Donnell Poe, his uncle. We were walking in the gym, me, Nesto, whatever, and he was saying something about one of the pro fights. And Uncle Ness like, shoot, you think it's like that? Nah, man, don't work like that. And he said, oh, hon, I said, yeah, man, sometimes guys be fighting on there and they only getting like 10, 20, 12 grand, but you thinking they getting at least 60 or 30 because they on it's freaking ESPN, bro. Like, oh my gosh. And he said, what? And Uncle Ness said, yeah, listen to it. Tell him, Sabrina. I'm like, yeah, you got God. Now imagine if you a kid, like, you know, I still don't have no kids or whatever. If you fight, you ain't got no kids, no wife, no child support, things like that. Some young fighters, they stay at home. Their fathers and their families, like real old school, want them to stay home until they're in a serious committed relationship and the woman is really down for them or whatever, because the fight game could be so up and down. They don't want that to hurt them. So they rather them stay at home and just keep stacking their money. So as you fight, let's say now you got 2-3 kids. That 10 grand ain't nothing. After you taking care of mortgage and all that, now it ain't 30. You ain't, man. Some of these joints you ain't even getting no. You wish you get 1,300 in mortgage these days. These days you get a simple flat joint, you getting 1,800, 2,200, stuff like that. So,
hey, we got a question in the chat, bro.
Oh, bet.
Said when did
first one, dude.
When did y'all fall in love with the sport of boxing and realize you were passionate about talking about the sport? I know for me, when I flash back to my first memories of boxing, fall in love with the sport, it was at my grandmother's house, and it was Tyson versus Holyfield, the ear bite.
That's the ear bite.
That's the first fight.
Oh my God.
That's the first fight I remember watching, yo. That's the first. Hey, I was a child. How was? What, you 32? I was what? I must have been like.
That was in what, 96 or 97?
Something. I was young.
No,
I was
98. Something like that.
I was young, 5, 6, or whatever. And I just remember
So I was probably 7 or 8.
the family being around. We all watching this little ass TV. It couldn't have been no bigger.
With
than
the big butt on it?
Yes.
With the big butt on it?
Couldn't have been like but 25 inches, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
With the horrible quality. I'm talking about terrible quality. And we watching the fight. And when Tyson bit his ear, like everybody was standing up like, yo, that's crazy.
Yo, what just happened?
Yeah, it was wild.
What the?
It was wild. And
man.
then like my family always had fight nights and boxing events, and we've always talked boxing, the food, you know, the adults is drinking and doing whatever they doing, but you know, as kids, we kind of sitting behind the adults because they take over the front row. They watching the fights. So the kids are we peeking overhead trying to watch the fight.
Hey, man, this ain't no time to play, man. You gonna sit here and watch the fight. You gonna go back there in the room and play the game.
And go back and play. Yeah, so you know, we watching the fights and everything, and then it just grew from there, from a child, you know, being a boxing fan and just following the fighters, and then, you know, get into like the Miguel Cottos and that era and everything like that. And I started throwing, when I got to be of adult age, I started throwing my own fight parties. You know, I would have all my friends come over and watch the fights with me.
Then the legend of BINK became.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, from always talking boxing with my friends, we still talk boxing to this day. One of my boys is like, yo, you need to start a podcast. You know, you do all this talking on Instagram, you on your story talking, why not start a podcast? I'm like, nah, I'm too shy to do a podcast, bro. I can't do it. I can't get on here and talk.
You, the MC.
I swear.
The MC.
I swear. Shout out to my man, Cheeseburger Chance, man. Follow him on Instagram, Cheeseburger Chance. He's the one who gave me all the inspiration. I'm talking about for months, bro. I said, I can't do it. I ain't got enough equipment. He said, use your phone. Stop making excuses. You can make a podcast on your phone. You don't need the expensive mics and this and that. I'm like, man, shit. And he, for months.
Familiar.
Right, bro. For months, he was putting it in my ear. And then I was like, no, I'm going to do it, bro. I'm going to do it for you. And I hopped out and I did it. And I just knuckled up. I was so nervous my first episode. I was by myself in my kitchen talking boxing on a microphone, headphones and everything with the broadcaster. Thought I was doing something. I think I was talking about, what was it, Virgil Ortiz? I think I was talking about first episode. It was trash. It was terrible, to be honest. But that's where I got my love from. And it started right there. As a kid. Tyson Holyfield, the ear bite.
Oh, man, me. Mine's not going to be as loose and fun, I guess. Mine's is dead serious. Old Hillcrest. That place will always be everything to me. That place and those men in that place. I never forget, told one of my nephews, telling my friends they was seeing these different guys, and I said, these guys helped me become the man I am now. A lot of the qualities you love in me is partially because of these men. I remember when I first had the cognitive thinking of it, putting up in that driveway at Hillcrest. It was all gravel. And walking. And it was, the double doors were wide open. It was a summer day. And you could hear the rope. You could hear the heavy bag. And the thing is, though, how tall the ceiling is, that chain going all the way up. And every time you hear the ching, 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 as they're hitting it. And as soon as you step through the first double door, because there's 2 sets of double doors, like a walk in the double door, side hallway, like side to side. You had this poster on the side that said no drinking, no real fighters don't smoke or drink, and all that stuff. And then walk in through and you see it. I saw that ring, that legendary ring at Hillcrest, and And I saw my dad and saw how guys looked at my dad. So many guys, like so many great fights. Saw my uncle Nesto, who I thought was Hector Camacho.
Oh my, no, you didn't, bro.
I said, Mom.
I hope he hear this. I hope he see this. Bro.
He knows. He knew that since I was a kid.
I'm about to say.
I said, that's Macho. Mom, that's Macho.
Mm-mm.
And he will always just hit the bag, look at me and grin. That's Macho. And seeing Daryl Latimer do the tricks on the rope, see my dad in there, how they, clamored to my dad, seeing those great amateurs, seeing Tom Brown with that fishnet hat and the towel over his shoulder, and all, snapping, chewing that gum with his mouth open. Hey man, do this, now get on the back, do this work, do all this other stuff.
Chomping, boy.
And that smell, I'll never forget it. That smell of Hillcrest. And I knew, like, I was looking at the gloves and seeing how different colored gloves and old gloves, new gloves, and all of it, just seeing the dust in there. Every time when they skipping rope, some of the dust kick up, all that stuff. It was literally like off of a movie. And seeing it was like, whoa. They were my superheroes. They still are. They were my superheroes, man. Nestor Rodriguez, my superhero. My Don Hollingsworth Sr. is my superhero. Hard work Hollingsworth. The body snatcher, Nestor Rodriguez. Dangerous Daryl Lattimore. Daryl, Too Sweet Coley. Oh man, that's just James Baker. Like those man, those are my superheroes, man. That junk stuck with me, man. So, and I always try to make sure when I get in moments like this, and those type of questions come up, they know what they did for me, how much I appreciated those men, and those men's men, in those days. And then everything, from being in that gym all of them years to now, progressed to where I am now, because I believe that every little bit of part that they played and every day in those gyms is half of the. I'm gonna say it to y'all, like I said to my nephews and so many other people. Those men's men are Ty Barnett, like those guys, man. They're part of the reason why y'all watch me. You're hearing pieces of those men. So yeah, that's what did it. That's what did it for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. A lot of your experiences are like real nostalgic, and I could tell you was a youngin' listening to the old heads talk. And
yes,
what you doing now is you're spitting verbatim what you heard in those gym conversations. So that's crazy. You could do that, bro. Because I can't reach back that far and pull out. I can't reach back to last week and pull out a conversation I heard. So for you to do that and be word for word, like experience, and you describing, because you ain't old enough to have been in those situations to have seen some of the stories that you're telling. You're retelling stories, but you're telling them like you was there, like you could smell it, like you was in the atmosphere, you was getting hit with the sweat from the ringside. You know what I'm saying? You seen the blood. That's crazy that you can do that. That's a talent that's pretty admirable for real. So shout out to my man Golden Boy right here, man, for having this special talent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this was a great episode, man. Guys, we're gonna be doing the call-in feature. A lot more is gonna be here. The numbers posted on the screen if you guys want to call in. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, man. But thank you guys for tuning in. Slipping Counter Podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Forgot. I want to say this real quick. I'm going to make it fast. The pro jump. Stop taking it away from these pro fighters that got families and through like 10,000. If they record 14, 16 and 0, whatever, 17 and 0, they throwing all these punches, 10,000 punches, 1,000 punches. You get to this point. And then when you take it from them, they pay grade get cut in half. Then they go back down to now they got to throw another 10,000 punches to get back to the part where they lost. Get back to that part.
Yeah.
Stop doing that to these guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
All that hard work. And then it hurts for them. It's like, man, why am I staying disciplined for this? Just to have them
It's heartbreaking.
Keep putting me behind the 8 ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I could dive more into the pro part later about
we'll get into
those
that
guys,
we'll
but
get into
I
the
just
next episode.
Put that point into it.
Yeah, for sure, man. But hey, guys, we definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys for rocking with Slip and Counter, man. We love and appreciate every single one of you guys. And we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. See you guys next week.
Shout out Blue.
Shout out Blue.